The following sports broadcast is an exclusive presentation of the unforgettable 920 KSHO. Bulldogs basketball is on the air. Tonight's West Albany game is brought to you by Economy Supply Building Center, City and Suburban Electric, Albany Grocery Outlet, Mark Thomas Motors, Courtesy Corner Shell, H&R Block, Willamette Community Bank, Lassen RV, Les Schwab Tires of Albany, Lynn Lanes, Crabtree Automotive, Power Honda, Figaro's, Albany Athletic Club, Linco Federal Credit Union, Burgerville, Now Builders, Wilson Motors, and by Lynn Benton Tractor. Now get ready for Bulldogs basketball. With all the action, here are Radio Ryan and Wally Orderman live on 920 KSHO.
To you from up at the north, Hillsboro, Oregon, and Liberty High School. Tonight, a little bit earlier, maybe at the dinner hour, we join you for Bulldog Boys Hoops. It is a doubleheader here tonight at Liberty. Boys and girls in action. We got the boys game for you here tonight on KSHO. I welcome you in, everybody. I'm Ryan Pitts with Wally Orderman and Jeff Kiter. Very pleasant drive up I-5 and then down 217 to 26. And here, too, the sprawling campus of Liberty High School, one of the finer campuses in the state. It'll be home to the Les Schwab Invitational, which will begin the day after Christmas, and that's one of the biggest national basketball tournaments in the nation. We'll talk about that one a little bit more as the night goes along. But the game here tonight, Wally, West Albany and Liberty. The Bulldogs trying to rebound from a loss on Monday night against one of the best 6A teams in the state in West Lynn. Tonight they face a 5A team for just the second time this year in Liberty, and this is one that the Bulldogs feel that they should get.
Yeah, this is one they should get, certainly, and it's going to be interesting, Ryan, for a couple of different reasons. One, you get to see somebody that you might see down the road, possibly in the playoffs, another 5A team. But the other thing is, after taking a spanking 48 hours ago at the hands of West Lynn, you get to see how this team is going to rebound from a really tough defeat. West Lynn really handed it to West Albany a couple nights ago. I'm glad that it's only 2 days and the Bulldogs get to get back on the court. I think they're going to be ready to go. I've watched this particular senior class for the last 4 years come back well from defeats. And I think there's no reason to believe this team won't do the same thing. I think they're going to be ready for Liberty tonight.
And West Lynn, I'll say again, really, they're one of the best teams in 6A. We didn't know coming into the game. Their record was 3-2. They had faced some tough teams. It was hard to say where exactly they were at. They were around number 11 in the OSAA's power rankings. Wally, feel free to speak for just a moment here.
Yeah. Well, West Lynn, certainly they came in, Ryan, with we really weren't sure what to expect from West Lynn. But, and learning a little bit more about them, with them coming in with 4 returning starters from that Final Four team last year, they certainly conducted a clinic against the Bulldogs. They ran their stuff very well. They weren't intimidated by the Bulldogs getting out to that early 9-2 lead, and they ran their stuff to perfection. A very well-drilled team, a very well-conditioned team, and they just handed it to the Bulldogs.
I'm sure you finished my point there very well. Sometimes I'm amazed that people do not realize that this is a broadcast. It goes out over the air. We can't just be interrupted at any point. Somebody's tapping me on the shoulder here, so I turn and say, we're on the air. Oh, no, I know. This is more important. You have to plug something in down below us. Anyway, we are here.
Which couldn't have been done in the last 30 minutes leading up to our broadcast, of course.
There was nobody seated in these chairs. Liberty, the opponent here tonight, a team that is 4-2, like the Bulldogs, but they haven't quite played the schedule that West Albany has. In fact, their 2 wins over teams that are a combined 5-20. They beat Franklin, and they beat Glencoe, they beat Reynolds, and they beat Hillsboro. Franklin and Hillsboro are winless. Reynolds is 4-3. Glencoe is 1-4. So there's not much that you can take from the teams that Liberty has beaten. They lost to Oregon City, a good 6A team, and they lost to Cleveland, a decent 5A team. The one thing that you know, based on looking at their scores, this is a team that's really going to want to slow things down. They're only the third lowest scoring team in terms of offense in the state at 5A, but they have the stingiest defense. They allow less than 40 points a game, all based on their pace of play.
Yeah, that's going to be a byproduct of their pace, and you nailed it just perfectly right there. I think it'll be contrasting styles, no question tonight. Liberty's going to want to slow it down. They're going to probably pass 5 or 6 times before they get a shot up. West Albany doesn't mind doing that, but they do it at a much more frantic pace of play. West Albany's going to try and get a lot of pressure defense, get some transition buckets, see if they can get their bigs down the floor in a hurry. I think Liberty will be far more deliberate, far less likely to get out in transition. I think they'll pull the ball back and try and run their stuff in the half-court sets.
West Albany going to attempt to get themselves healthy again here tonight. Coming off that loss on Monday, they are still the number 5 team in the OSAH Power Rankings. That difficult non-conference schedule, a big factor in that. West looks to get back on the winning track here. The final pre-Christmas game, we've got it for you tonight from Liberty High School in Hillsboro. It'll be the Bulldogs and the Falcons of Liberty coming your way shortly. Let's step away for a break, and we'll continue at KSHO.
If you'd like to do it yourself or need helpful advice doing it, your neighborhood Ace Hardware and Contractor Center can help. Economy Supply Building Center has been that helpful place for over 58 years. Economy Supply Building Center, where Highway 34 becomes Tangent Street in Lebanon.
Need some electrical work in your home or business, but it just seems like too small of a job to call the pros? No matter what the job, call City and Suburban Electric. Proud to be a contributing member of our community. City and Suburban Electric. Call 451-5609.
Lassen RV in Albany has the new RV models on the lot now, ready for you to buy. Lassen RV Service Department has a new truckload of parts and accessories on sale just in time for fall fix-up. From changing a light bulb to rebuilding your entire RV, no job is too big or too small for Lassen RV in Albany, where friends send their friends.
Join the fun at the Albany Athletic Club. Group fitness classes from low-impact dance to traditional circuit training, plus racquetball and more. Watch your waistline shrink and your health improve every day. Start now at the Albany Athletic Club on Hickory next to Tom's Garden Center.
Unforgettable 920.
Well, the girls play here.
Welcome back here to Liberty High School in Hillsboro. It really is a magnificent campus, a sprawling campus. We were here a couple of years ago for football. It is my first trip into the gym here at Liberty, and you can see why they now hold the Les Schwab Invitational here. A big main gym, and there's a secondary gym above us that is of pretty good size. And with this doubleheader that's going on here, I think all 3 girls teams, all 3 boys teams are all here. The freshman boys will play here momentarily. They're going to finish or follow the JV girls who are upstairs. The JV boys play before us on this floor, and the varsity girls will play after this game on this floor. So a very busy night here. We know that the West Albany JV boys won handily, and we'll try and get some updates on the other scores throughout the night, but it's a busy evening.
Yeah, it really is. And I think you were close. I know the freshman boys play at 7:30, so they'll be playing while the varsity girls are playing, but both JV teams play it at the same time, and then it's so anyway, anybody cares.
Fortunately, I didn't have to organize it here tonight, so the people who organized it did a better job than I did.
And what's something, the way this gym's set up is it doesn't appear that secondary gym, which is on the other side of some bleachers, on the other side upstairs, it doesn't appear that noise is going to be a factor between the 2 gyms. It's really a nice setup here. They've got a mezzanine that goes around the perimeter, kind of like Corvallis has at their gym, but on steroids. I mean, it goes quite a ways around here. It's just a very nice setup, and won't come close to capacity in this game here tonight. But we'll hope that some Albany people maybe are listening on their way up here, coming to see the Bulldogs play.
The gym that it reminds me of, and I don't know how much this will mean to people listening if they've ever been there, it reminds me a lot of West Salem, that has that perimeter around the outside and kind of goes down to court level. But there is the mezzanine, as Coach Zimmerman described it before the game, as you're looking at it. It gives kind of a depth perception problem to shooters. Now, we saw the Bulldogs warming up at halftime. They didn't appear to be having a lot of problems. But it's got that sort of Crescent Valley where there's a lot of depth behind the rim, and it's sort of tough to tell just how much oomph to put on your shot.
Yes, there's certainly something to be said for home court advantage, and Crescent Valley always shoots well at Crescent Valley. You expect Liberty to be the same. But going on the road, playing in all sorts of different situations, it takes a while to get your bearings. Shots, you need to be careful with shot selection because it is a factor, depth perception. When you're putting the ball up toward the rim, depth perception is a huge deal.
It will be West Albany and Liberty here tonight from Liberty High School. Let's go ahead and take another pregame timeout. We're about 5 minutes away from tip, so we'll sneak in a break and return here to 920 KSHO.
You will come out a winner at Power Honda. Their talented staff will show you how easy it is to get the vehicle you want and the payment you need. Check out mypowerhonda.com. Call 928-0122 or just go in to Power Honda, Highway 20 east of I-5 in Albany, your Honda Superstore.
Albany Burgerville is celebrating 50 years of serving customers fresh, great-tasting food with a mission to serve with love. Pick up a Burgerville card now and earn rewards cash for every dollar spent. See store for details. Stop by Burgerville after the game. Order a famous Tillamook cheeseburger. Open 7 a.m. to midnight Fridays. Albany Grocery Outlet Bargain Market across from the Heritage Mall has Senior Day, the first Tuesday of every month. $2 off every purchase of $15 or more. Albany Grocery Outlet Bargain Market. 100% satisfaction guaranteed across from the Heritage Mall with bargains on the brands you trust.
We're Linco Federal Credit Union. Keep your money in Linn County with Linco Federal Credit Union. Enjoy a visit with one of our friendly staff at a neighborhood branch near you today. Linco Federal Credit Union in Albany, Lebanon, and Sweet Home. In Linn, you're in.
920 KSHO.
And back here in Hillsboro, just about set for a tip-off. An early start tonight, an unusually early beginning. Didn't even really know for sure until after the varsity boys game on Monday what time this was going to start. It had been listed all along at 5:45, but it just seems surprising based on what we've seen in the past. Generally, they play the girls' game first and the boys' game late. They flip-flop it here, so the boys play early. I guess it means we can get on the road a little bit earlier. But it also meant that we could deal with some of the afternoon traffic coming in here to Hillsboro. It blows my mind at 3:30 on a Wednesday afternoon that it could be that packed on 217, and you'd hate to have to deal with that every day.
Oh, isn't that the truth? You know, it's frustrating when you want to get somewhere. We had all given ourselves a little bit of a cushion of time. You came up a little bit earlier. When I contacted you, you were just a little ways ahead of us on 217. We decided to drag our feet, grab something to eat, so that you could have everything all set up by the time we got here.
It worked out. I was able to lug it all in. I put a towel over the box so that the equipment wouldn't get wet. And here we are. I hope it sounds good. Again, we are using Skype. It's the same deal as we had for football. It's kind of a new experiment, and this is the first time that we have set this up. Generally, Brian Holman, our engineer, is here with us, but for the longer trip, we brought it with me, and hopefully we're in good shape here as we get set for tip-off between Liberty and West Albany. Two teams with a fairly limited history against each other. They played in December of 2009 and December of 2008, both of those games in preseason tournaments. Liberty winning the most recent game on December 29th of 09, 94-74 in the Central Oregon Les Schwab tournament. And West Albany the year prior had beaten Liberty 78-53 at the Silverton tournament. Not too many players on the floor tonight will have played in either of those contests, so it really has no bearing. Two teams not too familiar with one another, a non-league contest. It's tough to scout, but apparently there was a scouting report that was left in the bleachers.
I wondered if you'd bring that up.
I have to bring it up. From the Oregon City game. It was Oregon City against Liberty. They played on December the 4th, and apparently they have not cleaned the bleachers thoroughly since then because there was an Oregon City scouting report seated in the bleachers. So maybe we know a little bit of what to prepare for here tonight.
Maybe a little bit. And it was funny. We were sitting by Coach Zimmerman, and the players were so eager to come talk to him. Really unusual pregame for the players to want to come talk to the coach. But they handed him this, and it was indeed a scouting report, front and back, very detailed, and you could tell what their strategy was against Oregon City. A little bit different strategy against the height of West Albany, as Coach Zimmerman was pointing out. But certainly the keeping the pace of play less frantic and trying to keep that pace of play a little bit slower was certainly their goal against Oregon City, and I think we'll see that same goal tonight.
Always kind of interesting when contrasting styles get together on the floor. Liberty has not scored more than 55 points in a game this year. West Albany has not scored fewer than 55 in a game this year. They're one of the higher scoring teams in the Mid-Willamette and in 5A. And Liberty, as I mentioned a little bit earlier, the third lowest scoring team in 5A, just over 42 points per game. A little bit of a layoff after the game tonight for West Albany. They'll play 8 days from now in Bend at the Summit Tournament. A group that will include Ashland, Bend, Horizon Christian of Tualatin, Mountain View, Sandy, and the host team, Summit. Trip that's becoming fairly regular for West Albany there to the Summit tournament.
Yeah, they really enjoy it over there, and I'll tell you, boy, they're treating us very nicely here, aren't they? That's
don't say us. You got one.
I gave him a thumbs up, and he asked if you wanted one. I must have indicated no. I'd be happy to share this.
No, that's fine. A very nice water.
But that Summit tournament is it's a great bonding experience. The kids have a great time over there, and who doesn't like Central Oregon?
Sure.
But that tournament is very well run. They treat the teams very nicely. They give them great accommodations, and certainly set things up. Summit High School, not quite as big and sprawling as Liberty High School here, but Summit High School, very nice and a very good place to be for a few days for a basketball tournament.
You know that they've got some good funding because they have an artificial surface on their football field that was put in and funded by Drew Bledsoe, the former NFL quarterback. In fact, it's called Drew Bledsoe Summit Field, I believe, over there where the Summit Storm play. That is a tournament. One of these years, I'd love to get there and call the games from it. It's logistically, it's very difficult to get over there right after Christmas, just trying to schedule vacations. You don't know when the games are going to be. It's difficult to plan, but at some point we really would love to get over there. It's not going to be this year, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's right. And I think West will probably continue to go over there. I think those opportunities will present itself. It's a lot of fun, right? It's great to be a part of it. I've been over there a couple times now as a coach, and just just a lot of fun to be around the kids and watch how they interact over the course of 3 days together.
Yeah, you get a bunch of young kids in a hotel room in Bend in the wintertime for 3 days, and I'm sure Rich Engel pops some Pepto during those couple of days just to make sure that everybody is staying in line. No doubt, of course, that they will. The starting five tonight for West Albany, the same five that we've seen the couple of times that we've broadcast them this year. Sawyer Reed, the point guard, a 5'10 senior. Chad Sherwood on the wing, a 6'2 senior. Nate Sherwood, his brother, of course, also on the wing at 6'8 and a junior. And then the posts, Josh Bryant, the 6'6 senior, and Jalen Schlegel, the 6'8 senior. Jalen Schlegel, leading scorer on the team at 19.4 points per game. Chad Sherwood not far behind at 17.3. And Nate Sherwood, courtesy of his 17 points on Monday against West Lynn, now joins those other two in double figures at 10.5. Those are the big three, but I'll say again, you want to find some complementary scores. For the nights where one of those three guys doesn't have it going, somebody else like a Sawyer Reed or like a Cameron Dixon off the bench, you want to see them put up some points.
Absolutely, and Ryan, the point production has come as predicted from the top three, from the three that we expected to bring the majority of the point production. But you do have to have the complementary players that are going to spark you a little bit. You're right. In case there's a down game from one of those, you have to be able to have that spark. I think that can come from any number of players, but I think we need to see some more point production out of Josh Bryant. He's a big target underneath. They're feeding the bigs anyway. Josh Bryant, as he gets his legs under him throughout the course of the season, I think we'll expect to see his point production increase over time.
I think we're going to have our national anthem here at Liberty, so we'll step away for a break and come back and give you the Liberty starters and the tip on 920 KSHO.
Family owned and operated since 1979, Crabtree Auto stresses the small stuff when it comes to maintaining your vehicle. An oil change every 3,000 miles is a small thing now, but adds up to big rewards down the road. Crabtree Auto's ASE certified technician can help your vehicle maintain its reliability beyond 200,000 miles. Crabtree Auto on Hill Street, just south of 9th in Albany.
Now is the time to buy a car at Mark Thomas Motors. 4 generations in the auto business and here to stay. Mark Thomas Motors is big on supporting local events. 3 locations in Albany: Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Hyundai, GMC, Buick, Pontiac. Now is the time to buy a car at Mark Thomas Motors in Albany.
Just like the Bulldogs, Courtesy Corner Shell gives you everything they have every time you drive in. Fast and friendly service, windows always clean. Non-ethanol fuels for small engines, boats, and vintage cars available. You can't beat Courtesy Corner Shell near Queen on Pacific Boulevard. They'll be happy to see you.
Lynn Lane's in Lebanon, home of the best burger in town.
Place to bowl is Lynn Lane's Bowling Center on South Main Road in Lebanon. And the people are real nice. And the Head Pin Restaurant, I'd go there even if the bowling alley wasn't attached.
Good family fun. Bowling.
America's best music and the news you need. This is 920 KSHO, Lebanon, Albany, Corvallis.
And welcome back here to Liberty High School. Ryan Pitts, Wally Ordeman, and Jeff Kiter all with you here tonight, getting set for boys varsity action just after 6 o'clock. So we're only about 15 minutes behind schedule. Not too shabby. The starting five tonight for Liberty. In the backcourt, Kobe Alvarado, a 5'8 freshman point guard, joined by Kevin Lave, a 5'9 senior guard. And then 6'3", 6'3", 6'3 go the Falcons in the front court with Blake Walker, a 6'3 freshman, Jacob Mast, a 6'3 freshman, and Byron Greenlee, a 6'3 sophomore. So 1 senior, 3 freshmen, a sophomore. I don't see a lot of teams with 3 freshmen in the starting lineup at varsity.
No, you don't. And you got back-to-back games here for the Bulldogs where a freshman point guard is leading the way for them here too. It's really an interesting lineup, and we're getting ready for some action here right now.
Nate Sherwood, Byron Greenlee have it in center circle as Nate wins a tip to Sawyer Reed, and the Bulldogs will get first possession, working at the rim down to our right. As Chad Sherwood feeds it into Jalen Schlegel on the low block, spinning away from Greenlee into a double. On a pump fake, little fadeaway hook, too strong, and a rebound. Pulled down by Jacob Mast for Liberty. Kobe Alvarado now with it as he crosses the timeline, throws it right through the hands of Kevin Lave out of bounds, and an unforced error for Liberty on their first possession.
A little inauspicious start here, going both ways.
We'll see. Get used to those rims. That's what we'll say down at the far end. It's Nate Sherwood on the right wing, drops it into Jalen. Jalen spins it back out to Sawyer Reed, free for 3, around and off, no good. And a rebound tipped toward the sideline and out of bounds. It'll stay with West Albany as Jacob Mast was the last to touch it. Good to see Sawyer offer up a shot, though, early. He's not been as involved offensively. Admittedly, we've only seen the 2 games, or I've only seen the 2 games this year, but Sawyer putting it up early. As Chad Sherwood takes it far side off the inbound, through a double, floats it up with the right hand, around and off, no good. Long rebound pulled down by Mast for Liberty. Trapped on the baseline, gets rid of it to Blake Walker, up ahead to Alvarado, and Liberty in front court with possession as Alvarado dances out near the midcourt stripe, goes off to the right for Walker. And Walker with a crossover on Sherwood, comes inside the timeline, backs it out to Mast. Mast right of the lane, out to Walker again. Walker with the left hand dribble to the top, jump stop, back to the right for Mast. Liberty, a very patient offense that we expected to see.
Well, it's patient, but in a different way. You expect to see with a team that's that deliberate, Ryan. I'll come back to this point. I'll let you call the action.
You got time because they're just moving it around the perimeter.
Well, you tend to see, with the deliberate team, you tend to see a lot more cutters and a lot of little more motion there. They just seem to be content dribbling on the outside.
Well, Jacob Mast had his shot blocked by Nate Sherwood. The rebound by Greenlee. There was a whistle upstairs. I think Greenlee thought the whistle was here on the floor. He stopped. Everybody stopped. He turned around, had an open look, missed it, and the ball goes out of bounds to West.
Well, I think both these teams like to start this game over here. A couple of lousy possessions by the Bulldogs here the first time. They bring it up the floor now again for the 3rd try.
Shoppy, first minute and a half. No score, 6:20 to go in the first quarter. Chad Sherwood spins it down to Jalen. Jalen all the way along the baseline, blocked and out of bounds off West, they'll say. Looked like it was blocked by Liberty out of bounds, but no deflection, just off the underside of the basket and out of bounds. Ball to Liberty. Nobody can quite believe the call.
Yeah, that's kind of a mystery.
Liberty takes possession. It's Kevin Lave. Tries to go to the high post and throws it away into the hands of Josh Bryant. Through traffic upright for Chad Sherwood. Driving all the way into the paint. Inside the foul line. Bumped, and they're going to call an offensive foul on Chad Sherwood. Saying he dropped the shoulder as he went through the key. And a couple iffy calls here to start the game. As an early sub, Cameron Dixon will check in for Chad Sherwood here. Chad with his first foul.
Well, West Albany on their offensive side just needs to get back to what they do best, and that's getting up in transition if you can. If you don't, get your half-court set, feed the bigs, and try and work a little inside out.
2 minutes gone by, no score. Liberty with the ball as Alvarado way out on the left wing. Tries to drop it inside. It works its way to Greenlee, who misses the left-hand layup. A rebound to Jalen Schlegel. Greenlee, a second consecutive good look, could not convert. It's a long outlet to Nate Sherwood. Saves it to Cam Dixon. Now back out to Sawyer Reed. There's Chad Sherwood after the brief rest. We'll check right back in. Cam Dixon one-hands it into the right corner for Schlegel. Down low for Bryant. Trying to back in on Mast. Back out to Jalen. Thought about the three. Goes into the paint for Nate Sherwood, who needs to clear the 3-second area, and does. O.J. Gully, head coach for Liberty, screaming for a 3-second violation that never came as the Bulldogs work the perimeter with Bryant in the corner. Feeding Jalen at the elbow. Underneath for Nate. His layup is blocked, and a foul, and finally a chance for a point as Nate Sherwood will go to the line for 2 free throws. A foul on Blake Walker, his first.
Well, the way this game has developed, you can see why there have been a lot of low-scoring Liberty games. Certainly 0-0, 5:15 to go here in the first quarter. But that time, just a nice high-low. Jalen got the ball up high, and any time in passing game here for the Bulldogs, when the high post gets it, somebody else flashes to the front of the rim. That's what Nate Sherwood did. Got the nice feed and didn't get the bucket, but goes to the line for 2.
And he got the first. So the first point of the game comes with 5:15 to go in the first quarter. Nate's second free throw off front rim and in. So 2-0 West Albany, 5:12 to go in the first quarter. As Kobe Alvarado comes gingerly up the floor, stops just across the midcourt stripe, comes to the near side for Walker, trying to spin away from Nate Sherwood, hands it back to Alvarado right in front of us. As Walker gets it back, pulls at the elbow, fires underneath, off the fingertips of Greenlee and out of bounds. Another Falcons turnover.
Yeah, you can tell Liberty, they want to be able to, if they can get you to come out and trap them up high, what they were doing right there was they made the nice entry pass down to the wing, thought that they had caught the Bulldogs in a little over-aggressiveness there, but weren't able to complete the pass. Another Liberty turnover. The Bulldogs bring it the other way.
Reed to Nate Sherwood, to the top for Jalen Schlegel, to Chad Sherwood, running a backdoor lob for Jalen, and threw it away into the hands of Greenlee, who gets it to Alvarado, and Liberty back on offense. Alvarado pushes, gets to Walker, got away with a walk underneath, blocked is Greenlee by Nate Sherwood, out of bounds. A second block for Nate. As now Cam Dixon will come back in again, and Chad Sherwood will take another quick seat.
That's a teaching moment. That's when you do a quick substitution right there. That's when the coach wants to just give a little message to one of the players and get him back in on the floor.
Greenlee missing off the inbound. Rebound to Josh Bryant. Up ahead to Sawyer Reed in front court. Reed back to the top for Bryant. Right at the top of the circle, goes left for Dixon, now down low for Jalen, who's bumped on the catch. Non-shooting fouls. Bulldogs will inbound underneath.
Ryan, I want to go back to a point you were making about Sawyer Reed getting a shot early. I think we're going to see that more and more on the season as teams have to pack it in against the size of the Bulldogs. If Sawyer Reed can get to windows, I think he's going to have more three-point opportunities as the season goes along.
The last foul for Liberty called on Jacob Mast, his first, the team's second. As Byron Greenlee checks out, Aaron Holman checks in for Liberty. The inbound comes to Bryant. Through a triple team on the baseline, misses, but Jalen Schlegel's there for the putback. First field goal for West Albany. It's 4-0. 4:15 to go here in the first quarter. Slave drops it down low for Mast. At the elbow, out to Alvarado. Fires a three. Back rim and off. Rebound through the legs of Cam Dixon and pulled down by Liberty. Second chance. There were a lot of those on Monday for West Lynn. Certainly that was a teaching point for West Albany in practice yesterday. As Lave up top, splits the defense, goes high off the window with the left hand, too strong. Holman an offensive rebound. He goes back up and scores. Another offensive rebound. Second chance basket puts Liberty on the board. 4-2 Bulldogs, 3:45 to go in the first quarter. Nate Sherwood looking for something. Drops it down low for Jalen. Jalen backs it in with the left hand, spinning through traffic. Finger roll, good. And a foul. Count it. So Jalen a chance for three. An awkward late whistle, but a chance for a three-point play for Jalen Schlegel.
And I love that footwork. We're gonna pound that into the ground over the course of this season. The footwork of Jalen Schlegel, and so many. It's great when you have a veteran group of officials because some officials at the younger levels will call that a travel, but it's not. He keeps that pivot foot planted, and he just out fakes you. He wears you out.
Jalen well strong on the free throw. Cannot complete the three-point play. The Bulldogs lead 6-2. Under 3.5 to go in the first quarter. As Holman gets it out near center circle for Alvarado. Firing right for Lave. Lave pulls up for a deep two. Back rim and off. And rebound pulled down by Nate Sherwood. Off to Sawyer Reed, who travels with the ball. And that's good D by Lave, who propped himself right behind Sawyer Reed. And Reed turned around, saw Lave, shuffled his feet.
Yeah, that's absolutely the right call. And unfortunate, Bulldogs hadn't seen any full court pressure, save for a little bit of backcourt stuff after the Bulldogs get a rebound contesting some outlet passes. But that time, Sawyer just got caught. Turnover Bulldogs.
Tyler Parker in for Liberty. Keaton Bader and Chad Sherwood back in for West Albany. Josh Bryant and Nate Sherwood take a seat. Alvarado pinned near the midcourt stripe. Got rid of it to Mass. Now to Walker. Now back to Alvarado. As the Falcons will set their offense. Coming down on 3 minutes to go in the first quarter. 6-2 Bulldog. It's Alvarado all the way back up top. Dixon went for the steal, didn't get it. Now recovers as Blake Walker tries to handle the dribble. Gets it into Mast at the elbow. In the paint. Floats it up with the right hand. Spins out, no good. And a rebound to Jalen Schlegel. Jalen, little point forward as he'll bring it up. Underhands it to Chad Sherwood. Chad inside. Good look for Bader, and Bader lays it in with the right hand.
What a look from Chad Sherwood, too. Very patient look as he waited for Bader to clear the key. Beautiful play.
Threading the needle, and now Chad nearly with a steal right in front of us. Knocks it out of bounds. It'll stay with Liberty. The vantage point for us as good as it gets. Right at floor level here on the left side of press row near the Bulldog bench. Inbound thrown right to Chad Sherwood. Here comes Chad racing the other way. Underhands it to Sawyer Reed. Left-hand layup. Rejected away. It'll stay with West Albany, but swatted emphatically towards the back wall.
Unselfish play by Chad Sherwood, but you have to recognize who's running opposite you in that fast break there. Give that up to Sawyer Reed, and that was a block waiting to happen.
Now Sawyer fires a three off the inbound and cans it. Sawyer Reed, a triple and a Liberty timeout. A full with 2:23 to go in the first. We'll do it too. 11-2 West Albany. We'll come back here at KSHO.
Willamette Community Bank is proud to support local high school sports, music, and scholastic programs. Hi, this is Kevin Thomas, Vice President with Willamette Community Bank. Be part of the team and get behind our schools and our future leaders, serving you with branches in Albany and Lebanon.
Willamette Community Bank, service like no other, we promise. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Taking a detour down a gravel road isn't fun for you or your tires. Luckily at Les Schwab, along with great prices, all of our car or pickup tires come with the kind of protection most other places don't give you, like free flat repairs and more. Les Schwab, doing the right thing since 1952.
The mission of Now Builders is treat every job like it's their only job, no matter how big or small, and they don't stop until their customer is 100% satisfied 100% of the time. Check out their portfolio of fine work at nowbuilders.com. Call Now Builders at 541-926-2858.
Figaro's in Albany now has the Ultimate Super Combo and the Ultimate Super Meat, only $16.99 or $17.99 baked. Albany Figaro's in front of Fred Meyer. And ask about their gluten-free crust. 541-924-9303.
Unforgettable 920.
Back here with 2:23 to go in the first quarter. Not a game that you could describe as beautiful offensively either way, but West Albany with the best of it so far, leading 11-2 as Liberty out of the timeout. Tries to come to front court. Jalen Schlegel swats the pass out of bounds on the far side. It'll stay with Liberty.
A little confusion defensively here in the full court. A couple of missed assignments there, but Jalen Schlegel able to save it with a little tip ball. Liberty has it out of bounds.
The inbound comes up top for Mast. Using a screen from Parker. Picks up the dribble, goes to the sideline, and has it batted away again by West. Chad Sherwood got his hands on it. He's trying to claim it was last touched by Liberty, but it will be Falcons' ball.
You know, Ryan, it's something that a team that wants to play as deliberately as Liberty does, but West creates a problem for that because they get out so far on their defense. They don't let anybody have a ball uncontested, and they will defend man-to-man anywhere in the half court, and it doesn't allow them to do anything slowly.
Meanwhile, a travel underneath on Liberty, another turnover. As subs in during the stoppage, Cameron Dixon, Jalen Schlegel coming out. Nate Sherwood returns, and Jesse Berkey is in for the first time. So it's Sawyer Reed with Berkey, Chad Sherwood, Keaton Bader, and Nate Sherwood. As Chad attacks left of the lane, fires it up, and they'll wave it off. 3-second violation on West Albany. As Chad Sherwood had hit the floating jumper fading left, but they will wipe it off.
And that's a good take by Chad Sherwood. That'll give some confidence here going in as we go along here. Saw a nice little seam there. Takes it hard to the basket and soft off the rim, or off the basket. Backboard. Excuse me. How am I doing?
Alvarado through the paint. He hits a teardrop at Liberty with their second points of the night. 11-4 West Albany with a minute 37 to go in the first quarter. Chad Sherwood skipping left, too tall for Jesse Berkey, out of bounds. A turnover for West. As Josh Bryant will check back in, replacing Keaton Bader. Liberty with the ball down 7, 1.5 to go in the first quarter. It's Alvarado, the freshman point guard, bringing it up against Sawyer Reed. High pick from Holman. Alvarado comes around it to the left. Now backs it out again between the circles. Pushing left and backing out. Waiting for a series of high picks. Didn't like any of them. As Alvarado works on the right side. Tries to come to the top. Almost stolen by Nate Sherwood. Parker got it back. He pulls up. Has it blocked by Nate. Got it right back. Blocked again by Nate. Out of bounds. 4 blocks in the first quarter for Nate Sherwood.
I'm looking back at Jeff Kiter. He's punching numbers in furiously into his iPad?
Yeah.
These tech things.
Inbound Holman, and Holman gets free. Aaron Holman able to find a gap in the defense, gets a layup. And Liberty responds with 4 straight after being down by 9. It's 11-6 West with 1 minute to go in the first. And here comes an offensive foul away from the ball. It will go against Josh Bryant, his first, just the second on West Albany. Sawyer Reed might have gotten away with a double dribble up top as he was struggling to find the handle on the ball, and I think maybe that's the makeup call away from the ball.
I think that could be right. Coach Zimmerman, as we approach the end here of the first quarter here, Ryan, Coach Zimmerman is not going to be very happy with his crew. I think he's probably going to tell them that they're playing down.
Oh, and Alvarado, a backdoor feed to Parker, and West wants a timeout. Parker got a layup, working backdoor, and Liberty out of the timeout with 6 straight points to pull within 3 at 11-8 with 46.3 to go in the first. It's interesting, Wally, because we saw in the JV game before, and we basically saw the entirety of the JV game based on when we got here. West Albany won 62-33, but Brian Wadlow said he was not real impressed with his team's effort in the first half, that they maybe played down a little bit. You can see some of the same here so far.
Yeah, right now you just don't see the intensity that we've seen over the course of the first few games of this season, and Coach Zimmerman will have none of it. This is a team that needs the intensity, especially tonight after laying an egg the other night. They've got to get it back here, and they're going to have 3 quarters to get it done. I think you're going to see some fire out of this group. That was a perfect timeout right there. You've got under a minute to go. He surprised his team by calling the timeout. Liberty had made a little bit of a run. I think probably we'll see a little bit more inspiration here going forward.
So West will come out of the timeout with their starting 5 back on the floor. And Sawyer Reed takes the inbound. No pressure from Liberty as Reed brings it up. Feeds Bryant at the top of the key. Comes right for Nate Sherwood on the wing. Looking in for Jalen Schlegel. Being pinned by Holman. Good D there, denying the pass. As it works to Chad Sherwood, now to Sawyer Reed. in center circle, working left to right. Feeds it to Nate Sherwood, right corner. Inside for Jalen on the blocks. Up to the top for Bryant. Left for Sawyer Reed. Fake the three. Comes to Jalen at the foul line. Back to the right for Chad Sherwood on the wing. To Sawyer up top. Behind the screen. 4-3. Back rimming off. Rebound to Holman for Liberty. 15 seconds to go in the quarter. Mast pushing right of the lane. Goes off the window and scores it. 8 straight for Liberty. With 10 seconds to go in the quarter. Here comes Reed. Up to Chad Sherwood with 5 seconds. To the top for Jalen Schlegel with 4. With 3. Going to have to put something up. With 1. Chad Sherwood's floater to beat the horn will not go. And at the end of 1, West Albany's lead is 1. 11-10 Bulldogs. We'll come back for the second at 9:20 KSHO.
The short drive to Corvallis will save you time and money. This is Steve Buckner from Wilson Motors, inviting you to experience the notable difference at Wilson Motors, 5th and Buchanan in Corvallis. Check us out at saveatwilson.com.
Making life easier and more productive, that's what Len Benton Tractor can do for you. And it all begins by discovering how the full line of Kubota equipment can help.
We're still doing business the American way.
Highway 99E Tangent.
920 KSHO.
Welcome back here to Liberty High School. 11-10 West Albany at the end of 1, but much as was the case on Monday, a hot start for West. In this case, it was a 9-point lead at 11-2. On Monday, it was 9-2. It becomes a 1-point game at the end of a quarter. West Albany leads by a point here tonight. They were down a point on Monday. You get the feeling that at some point they just got to kind of maybe get rid of the funk. They're not playing at their peak right now. That much is apparent.
Yeah, no doubt about that. They're playing down to the level of their competition right now, and I think we'll see a change in the Bulldogs. I really do. But it's almost like a lethargicness. Is that a real word?
It's not, but I think we get your point.
As we start the second period.
They'll try to get rid of their lethargicitude here. Alvarado gets it to Parker. Behind the foul line, Liberty with the first possession of the second quarter. As it's Mast picking up his dribble, coming back out to Alvarado. Guarded by Reed, working left into a double team. Frees some space, still looks to get rid of it, and does to Walker, who hands it right back to Alvarado, curling out near center circle. Alvarado, left-hand dribble, left of the lane, fadeaway jumper, rattles off, and a rebound to Nate Sherwood. Quick outlet for Chad Sherwood. Looking for Jalen, going to keep it, go all the way down the left side of the lane, lost his footing, and he'll say out of bounds, and a turnover to Liberty. Little indecision. I think Chad wanted to throw the lob up to Jalen, who just could not quite get free. And then as Chad tried to keep, he slipped.
Yeah, I think that would have been a great idea, but I think he made the right decision because Liberty did a good job of getting back to at least where they were at least going to be able to disrupt that alley-oop if he was able to get it up to Jalen. I think it was a good decision. He just lost his footing.
Alvarado hands it off to Walker on the left wing, hounded by Chad Sherwood. Good D by Chad. As Walker gets rid of it to Mast. And Mast feeds Parker on a little weave up top. Parker behind the back with the dribble, turned it over. He got it back and misses inside. On the deflection, had an easy shot and missed it. Rebound comes down to Sawyer Reed, who goes left for Chad Sherwood in front court. Sherwood high on the left wing and a whistle and a hold away from the ball. This will be on Liberty. Have not been a lot of whistles here in the first half. Team foul number 4 coming on the Falcons. This one will go on Aaron Holman, his first.
And what I like, the Bulldogs are getting a lot of ball pressure here up top, Ryan, right here in front of us. But the referees are letting a lot of that contact go.
Quick inbound to Sawyer Reed, and Reed floats it in with the right hand. So Sawyer with an easy 2 inside. They lost track of him. The Bulldogs lead by 3, 13-10. 6:40 to go here in the first half. Low scoring as we anticipated. It's Alvarado hands it to Parker. Parker through the lane, blocked from behind by Nate Sherwood. Block number 5 as Sawyer Reed pulls it down. Comes to front court, hands it to the right. Nate for 3 in transition, back iron and off. Rebound comes down to Mast. Now Liberty wants to run. Mast bounces it right for Alvarado all the way to the goal. Missed the layup. Rebound Sawyer Reed. And Reed will back it out. So we'll play 5-on-5 into front court. Chad out on the wing, drops it down low for Schlegel. Jalen, series of fakes inside, lays it up, and the foul. Jalen Schlegel attacking on the baseline. Gets the 2, a chance for 3.
He was looking to elevate. He wanted to be able to throw that one down. Just didn't quite have the feet under him to be able to do that, but strong to the basket. We see him finish so well. Absorbs the contact and puts it in. Chance for the 3-point play and to build this to a 6-point lead.
Cody LaHoda, Calvin Merrifield check in for the first time for West Albany. Nate Sherwood and Sawyer Reed check out. Jalen Schlegel trying to push the Bulldogs lead back to 6 here with 6:11 to go in the second quarter. Jalen, couple of practice dribbles, releases, and hits. 3-point play for Schlegel, 16-10. West Albany with 6:10 to go. in the first half. Calvin Merrifield now going to pick up Alvarado, the point guard, right at midcourt. Merrifield, good job dancing with Alvarado. Goes backdoor on a nice feed for Lave, and Lave lays it in.
Boy, there's just nothing tricky about that. They're just standing at the elbow waiting to take a waiting to go backdoor, and West Albany overplaying, trying to intercept that pass, and they're going backdoor on him.
Chad Sherwood, a quick trigger in front court, missed the three. Liberty right back the other way as Alvarado now gets it outside. Jacob Mass had gotten underneath, thought maybe he'd have a layup. He chose to kick it back out. Greenlee holds it on the wing. Greenlee pumping on Lahota right in the middle for Walker. Walker had it stripped by Merrifield. Nice play as Bryant gets it on the deflection. Up to Schlegel. Jalen bumped by Mast, and they're going to call a block on Mast. And West will inbound on the far side. Now, at the end of that, Jalen a little shove, but Mast had initiated the contact, and Jalen gives him a little tap on the arm.
Jalen
has no ill will.
Jalen has this thing where he shakes his head, his mouth is open, and everybody that's ever seen him do it knows exactly what I'm describing. And I have my eyes just peeled on Kevin Schlegel across the way. He started cracking up. We used to tease him unmercifully about that move that he's got. It's so funny.
The foul was on Mast, his second, team foul number 6 now at Liberty, as Josh Bryant gets it on the baseline, works on Greenlee, a couple dribbles, looks for some help, hits the cutting Chad Sherwood, who gets hammered on the way up, and 2 free throws coming. A good look from Bryant to Chad Sherwood on the cut.
Josh Bryant, so smart at both ends of the floor. Very patient there as he waited for Chad to cut. What I like about that is Chad Sherwood never stopped moving on that play. He just looked for the cut, and Josh finally got eye contact with him, puts it in the right spot, and Chad gets to shoot 2.
Foul was on Kevin Lave, his second, as Chad Sherwood for 2. First one on its way, back rim, no good. Kevin Lave would be the second most famous player whose first name is Kevin and last name involves the letters L, V, and E to play in this gym. Kevin Love among many famous alumni of the Les Schwab Invitational. We're going to talk about that at halftime. There are some staggering names that have played in that tournament as Chad Sherwood misses both free throws. A rebound to Liberty. And the Bulldogs continuing to lead, but only by 4 here with 5:05 to go in the first half. It's Alvarado bounces it to the right for Walker. To Alvarado, back to Walker. Walker into the middle for Parker. Parker out to Alvarado. And he feeds Lave. Back to Alvarado. No dribbles, just a lot of perimeter passing as Walker finally puts it on the deck. 2 dribbles with the left hand. Now to Lave. Lave holds. And back out to Alvarado. Chad Sherwood meets him on the switch. Out to Walker. Faking the 3. Try to get it inside. Deflected and stolen by Jalen Schlegel. Good active hands from the Bulldogs forcing the turnover. As Jalen is going to be called for a carry as he tried to go down the left side. They'll say that he palmed the ball. A turnover for West Albany. And a Liberty sub during the stoppage. Philip Opeger comes in for the first time, and Blake Walker checks out.
And those are momentum busters right there. And you know what? Big deal if that was a carry. That's a victimless crime. He's not even being defended when that happens.
As Parker down the lane and an early whistle on the drive. Call it before Parker went up for the shot. Just the 3rd team foul on West Albany, as that will go against Calvin Merrifield, his first.
Going back to the point I was making, Ryan, if you've got somebody guarding you and you use that move to create an advantage, that's a violation. When there's nobody within 5 feet of you and you do that, that's victimless. You let it go.
So you would be of the opinion that if I'm doing 100 miles an hour on a country road with nobody around, it's legal.
No, just
But you see my point.
Yes, I do.
Yes. Lave, I'm in agreement with you, by the way. As Opeger drops it to Parker, out to Lave. He'll offer up a 3 and bury it. Kevin Lave for 3, and Liberty pulls back within a point. 16-15 midway through the second quarter. Sherwood underneath Lahota, and Cody Lahota will get a layup off a nice feed from Chad Sherwood. A 3-point Bulldog lead, 18-15. Is Alvarado. Works it to the right for Opeger, back to Alvarado. Now to Lave. And right back to Alvarado. Let's see if the Bulldogs work the perimeter now, knowing that Lave has a little touch. Liberty throws it away. Cody Lahota pulls away the turnover. Off to Merrifield. Merrifield to Bryant at the top. Off to the right for Chad Sherwood. Quickly to Schlegel. Picked up by Greenlee. Got around him. Drops it underneath for Bryant, who lays it in. And a beautiful pass from Jalen.
And that's 2 players that have played basketball together for 4 years, Ryan. That's just beautiful high-low right there.
A game of mini runs. Here's West with 4 straight to go back up 5. Greenlee inside. Parker, a hop, skip, and a jump to the rim. Missed the shot. Rebound by Greenlee. He fires up a no-look shot that misses. Got his own. Reverse misses. Rebound pulled down by Parker. He goes up and misses. And finally, Jalen clears the rebound. Up ahead to Chad Sherwood. No numbers, and Chad will back it out. It's the trailer, Merrifield. And now he will direct traffic with the Bulldogs up 5 and 2:45 to go in the first half. Cody LaHoda gets it in the right corner. Bounce pass to the top. Lazy, stolen by Lave. Here comes Lave all the way to the goal with Chad Sherwood. Missed but got fouled. Chad got him with the body. His second personal. And Kevin Lave is going to be at the line to shoot 2.
Can't have soft passes against quick teams. And Liberty's shown that they've got a little bit of quickness up top. That time, a little bit soft pass, and Liberty took it the other way. Chance for 2 here at the free throw line.
First free throw around and off. No good as Lave misses. Nate Sherwood, Keaton Bader, Sawyer Reed all back in. Merrifield, Chad Sherwood, and Josh Bryant check out.
Yeah, Merrifield, nice job running the floor, running the show here for the last 3-4 minutes of game time.
Lave's second free throw is good. 1 of 2. 20-16. Bulldogs by 4. 2:30 to go here in the first half. And a good save. I was about to say a turnover. A couple of saves. LaHoda saved it. Schlegel saved it. The Bulldogs keep the possession.
Wow.
I thought for sure that first pass was going to sail out of bounds, but Cody LaHoda was able to chase it down. Now LaHoda gets it back in the left corner. Looking for some movement, trying to feed somebody inside. Now finally has to put it on the floor. Circling the perimeter, comes right for Sawyer Reed. Reed on the wing, around a Bader screen, coming to the top. Reed angling back to the right wing. Kicks it to Bader in the corner. Bader to Nate Sherwood. Inside for Jalen Schlegel. Spinning. Looking to go up and under. Does. Missed it short. Got his own rebound. Backing his way down. And an offensive foul. They'll say he dropped the shoulder. O.J. Gully, head coach for Liberty, very demonstrative down to the right. He was signaling offensive foul well before the official did. The official agrees. A foul on Jalen, his first, team foul number 5 on the Bulldogs.
Frustrating situation for Jalen as he went up for the short one over the rim and couldn't get it to go. Got his own rebound, then lowered his shoulder. I think it's the right call.
Bulldogs have led throughout, but never by much as Parker gets it. Tyler Parker on a back cut with a left-hand layup. It's back down to 2. 20-18, 1:37 to go in the half, and we're going to get a Bulldog turnover. Sawyer Reed tried to push it up the far sideline for LaHoda, threw it away. And Liberty could tie or take the lead here with 1.5 minutes to go in the first half. Alvarado across the timeline. Backdoor for Opeger, and he is blocked away by Jalen Schlegel. The Bulldogs, a series of blocks here in the first half. I believe that would be at least 7. Nate Sherwood has 5 by himself, as Merrifield will check back in for Cody LaHoda. Now you're seeing Liberty run a lot of back cuts, the same way West Lynn did for some layups on Monday. And Liberty is not having quite the same success, but they're getting some buckets as they're going to get a whistle and a foul. I think a moving screen.
I think that's exactly what it is. And for a referee that hasn't blown his whistle a whole lot in this first half, but he saw it from the other side there. I think it's the right call.
Coach Zimmerman was the first one to see it. He was up and screaming. It's a moving screen. And that was the call. It's on Parker, his first. Non-shooting foul as Reed goes right for Nate Sherwood, doubled in the corner, comes to Merrifield, now to Schlegel. Jalen looking underneath, nobody home. I think he was looking for Bader, but it was over the head of Keaton Bader and out of bounds, a Bulldog turnover. 20-18, West Albany, 1:09 to go in the first half. It's Liberty, another chance here to tie or take the lead. Alvarado slowly up the floor, now accelerates a little bit, picks up the dribble, looks back door, lobs it for Lave, who goes up high just to make a good catch. Feeds Opeger for a baseline jumper that's way short. Rebound Jalen Schlegel and a whistle and a foul. It will go the other way to shoot a 1-and-1. Quick whistle in the backcourt. A long way from the rim. That's going to drive Coach Gully crazy for Liberty as Jalen Schlegel will have a chance for some free points.
You know, we're seeing a lot of backdoors from this Liberty team, and chances are they maybe they had somebody at that Westland game said, hey, we can run some backdoors. But this isn't a team that just started practicing that yesterday. They've been doing it quite a bit tonight. Look like they're fairly experienced at it, Ryan. But what that does is it punishes overly assertive defensive teams. Like the Bulldogs. The Bulldogs like to get after you. They overplay. They play in the passing lanes. And those back doors are going to be there sometimes. West Albany has to be mindful of that and maybe back off of that a little bit so that those back doors aren't as easily run by Liberty.
Jalen hit his first free throw. And maybe a little message here as the Bulldogs will get 5 fresh faces into the game. as Jalen Schlegel misses the free throw, so it'll stay at 4 as we're going to get a push on Cam Dixon and a foul, which will be team foul number 6 on West Albany. So the 5 new players who come in, Ben Engel is on the floor for the first time, Jesse Berkey returning, Cam Dixon returning, Brady Young for the first time, and Isaiah Edwards for the first time, as all the starters will sit here in the final minute. 21-18 Bulldogs, 49 seconds to play in the second quarter. Kobe Alvarado, who has gone the distance so far at point guard for Liberty, pushes it all the way to the left corner, guarded by Ben Engel. Looking for some space, gets it up top for Greenlee. Greenlee hands it back to Alvarado, works back out near center circle. Ben Engel dances with him. Alvarado nearing a 5 count. Got to be close. There it is. 5 seconds. Good D by Ben Engel, forcing the turnover.
He just worked him back and forth, Ryan, and gave him just enough, but kept that proximity to where the referee kept the count going. Nice job by Ben Engel to get that 5 count.
Now it's in front court with Dixon. Down low for Edwards. Edwards backing down, fouled, and a chance for free throws here for Isaiah Edwards with 19.4 to go in the half.
And Greenlee had his forearm in Isaiah Edwards' back. Wondered when that call was going to come. Finally they do, as it had an impact on the play. Edwards is going to go to the line here for 2 in the double bonus.
Greenlee's foul, his first, and the 10th on Liberty, so Edwards shoots 2 and hits the first. Bulldogs by 4, 19.4 to go in the second quarter. Isaiah Edwards, 6'4", sophomore. Second free throw, no good. Rebound to Tyler Parker. Bulldogs by 4, 15 seconds to go in the half. Liberty with the ball as Alvarado angles left across the center stripe. Around to Greenlee screen. Underhands it to Parker. Now to Greenlee down the lane. Layup good and a foul. Byron Greenlee down the right side of the lane with the layup and the foul. Chance to make this a 1-point game with 6.7 to go in the half. Foul on Brady Young, his first, team foul number 7 on West.
Yeah, it's just a nicely run play, and you could tell they had that in mind from the very start. I think they probably would have preferred to do that with with fewer seconds on the clock, but very effective. Draw the foul and a chance here to pull this within 1.
Greenlee, a high arcing free throw that drops through, and West will have to hurry here to try to get a shot off. Brady Young with it with 2 seconds, with 1. Dixon to Berkey through his fingertips. The horn will sound. And that will end the first half. At intermission, West Albany a 1-point lead, 22-21. We'll take a break and return here to 920 KSHO.
Need extra money and time for the holidays? H&R Block offers the Emerald Advance, a line of credit up to $1,000 that you can start using today. No W-2 required. Stop by a participating office to apply or call 1-800-HR-BLOCK to learn more. H&R Block Emerald Advance, line of credit offered through H&R Block Bank. Member FDIC, participating offices subject to credit approval. Fees apply. See HR Block/Emerald Advance for details. 2012 HRB Tax Group Incorporated offered January 15, 2013. OVTP B1550.
Hi, this is Serena at your neighborhood H&R Block in Albany, Lebanon, Corvallis. Call us today at 541-928-6432 and see what it means to never settle for less when it comes to your taxes.
If you'd like to do it yourself or need helpful advice doing it, your neighborhood Ace Hardware and Contractor Center can help. Economy Supply Building Center has been that helpful place for over 58 years. Economy Supply Building Center, where Highway 34 becomes Tangent Street in Lebanon.
Need some electrical work in your home or business, but it just seems like too small of a job to call the pros? No matter what the job, call City and Suburban Electric. Proud to be a contributing member of our community. City and Suburban Electric. Call 451-5609.
Unforgettable 920.
It is halftime here at Liberty High School with West Albany leading Liberty 22-21. While I've mentioned several times, it's a very nice facility here. I have no doubts that the locker rooms are very nice. I think that the visitors' locker room is going to need to be repainted at the end of this halftime speech because Coach Zimmerman not pleased with what he saw in the first half.
No, he's not, and it's on the defensive side. Offensively, you can understand when you have an off game or you're not run, you're just not as efficient. Those are some things you can fix with a little bit of chalk talk. Defensively, what we're seeing from the Bulldogs right now is some laziness. And I think that's probably why he's so upset right now. We've seen a lot of backdoors by Liberty. Liberty is, you could see the confidence building in them. Early in the game, you could see that they were maybe on their heels, that they were knew that they were in for a really tough test against a big West Albany team. But that confidence is growing in Liberty, and a lot of that is because West Albany on the defensive side has been allowing Liberty to do what they want to do. Yes, they're getting a lot of block shots, but it's because they've been out of position defensively, and Liberty's been able to get the ball into the paint and do some things that they want to do. That's what's going to be upsetting Coach Zimmerman. Offensively, I tell you, West Albany with a ton of turnovers there in the first half. It's been a very frustrating time, and it's not that the defensive pressure has been all that stellar. We've seen better defensive teams than what we're seeing from Liberty here. But West Albany, it's complacency. That's the word I was looking for a little earlier. It's been some complacency on West Albany and not really getting their focus here. I think that he's going to get some focus coming out of the locker room from halftime. Or he'll do what he did there at the end of the second quarter. He's going to get some players on the court that want to focus and gives a little bit more energy there. I don't want to be the big downer here, but West Albany's not playing very good basketball right now, and it's one of those things where if you let a team that is from all appearances not at your level, if you let them hang around long enough and you give them a chance to win, sometimes you get bit. And I think probably we'll see the Bulldogs come out in the third quarter and impose their will, we would say.
Well, you hope so, because this becomes kind of a test now for West Albany. I mean, this is no disrespect to Liberty. They played a fine first half, but West Albany is more than a point better than this Liberty team, and they haven't shown it thus far. In the second half, they need to prove that they're one of the best teams in 5A. Everybody seems to think that they will be among the top teams in 5A this year. They need to prove that here in the second half. They have not proven it in the first half, and there aren't many more tests before conference play starts. This is when you hope that you're picking your pace of play up.
Well, I think you're right, but they don't have to prove it to anybody else in the gym other than themselves.
Very true.
I mean, they have to be able to show themselves, okay, this is what we need to do, this is what we're going to do, and then set out and do it. Right now, the confidence isn't there. The ability to play from a position of strength and impose what they want to do on Liberty just isn't there. We just watched 24 minutes about. How many minutes in a quarter?
16.
Is it 8?
Yeah,
16. How long did I coach? 16 minutes of basketball that was not what we're used to seeing from West Albany. And I think that'll change. I hope that'll change because it's right now it's been accomplished for Liberty. They've got West Albany within a point. They've got it at 22-21, a very low-scoring game. West Albany needs to get out and do what they do best, and that's defensive pressure, and then get out and run in transition and get some big hoops.
We will see. We hope that will turn around in the second half. 22-21, West Albany, a 1-point lead at halftime. We'll take a timeout and come back with stats. Jeff Kiter will run the app, and we'll have some numbers for you around the corner at 9:20 KSHO.
Lassen RV in Albany has the new RV models on the lot now, ready for you to buy. Lassen RV Service Department has a new truck accessories on sale just in time for fall fix-up. From changing a light bulb to rebuilding your entire RV, no job is too big or too small for Lassen RV in Albany, where friends send their friends.
Join the fun at the Albany Athletic Club. Group fitness classes from low-impact dance to traditional circuit training, plus racquetball and more. Watch your waistline shrink and your health improve every day. Start now at the Albany Athletic Club on Hickory next to Tom's Garden Center.
You will come out a winner at Power Honda. Their talented staff will show you how easy it is to get the vehicle you want and the payment you need. Check out mypowerhonda.com. Call 928-0122 or just go in to Power Honda, Highway 20 east of I-5 in Albany, your Honda Superstore.
Albany Burgerville is celebrating 50 years of serving customers fresh, great-tasting food with a mission to serve with love. Pick up a Burgerville card now and earn rewards cash for every $1 spent. See store for details. Stop by Burgerville after the game. Order a famous Tillamook cheeseburger. Open 7 a.m. to midnight Fridays.
Unforgettable 920.
Welcome back here to Liberty High School. Very pleased to welcome in Jeff Kiter, the second game with the app here to keep the stats. You're really getting it into the future here. I applaud your efforts. I'm the kind of person, I think I'd just stick with the book because I'd be scared to try and run that during the game. But it worked well on Monday, and how's it coming so far tonight?
It's getting better, and I think each time it'll get better and I'll feel more comfortable. So
sure.
Hopefully that'll be a little more accurate today than it was on Monday.
The good news here is you haven't had many points to keep track of so far in the first half, 22-21.
Yeah, hopefully that'll change in the second half too. We'll start out with the Bulldogs. They were 7 of 15 from the field. Not a lot of shots taken. Almost 47% from twos. They were 1 of 4 from the 3-point range and 5 of 10 from the free throw line. The Bulldogs had 11 total rebounds, 5 assists, and 12 turnovers. Liberty, they were 8 of 28 from twos and 1 of 2 from the 3-point line. and 2 of 3 from the free throw line. So from 2-point range, they were about 29%. From 3-point range, they were about a 50% clip. And they were 2 of 3 from the free throw line for 67%. The Liberty Falcons had 8 turnovers in the first half. Foul trouble, not too bad for the Bulldogs. Chad Sherwood has 2, and 5 other West Albany Bulldogs have 1 foul each. Some individual stats for the Bulldogs, which, again, there wasn't that much out there. Sawyer Reed was 1 of 2 from 2 and 1 of 3 from the 3-point line. Cody Lahota was 1 of 1. Nate Sherwood was 0 of 1 from the field, but 2 of 2 from the free throw line. Jalen Schlegel was 3 of 6 from the field and 2 of 4 from the free throw line. Josh Bryant, 1 of 2 from the field, and Keaton Boder was 1 of 1 from the field. The Bulldogs, yeah, I guess the bottom line is they need to pick it up in the second half.
Yes.
I'm sorry, I was kind of lost for words because I'm getting a whole set of numbers thrown at me on this new app, and I guess the bottom line is they just need to come out with a little more energy. And I think we noticed when they did the wholesale substitution, I think Coach was just looking for something more energy in the second half, and so hopefully we'll see that, and the Bulldogs can make a run in the second half.
We'll certainly hope so. Thank you, Jeff.
Okay.
It's Jeff Kiter with our first half stats, and boy, numbers are plenty on that thing. That's incredible. With the new app, and it seems to be working very well. 22-21, West Albany with the lead at halftime. We'll step away for a break, come back with the start of the third quarter at 9:20 KSHO.
Albany Grocery Outlet Bargain Market across from the Heritage Mall has Senior Day, the first Tuesday of every month. $2 off every purchase of $15 or more. Albany Grocery Outlet Bargain Market. 100% satisfaction guaranteed across from the Heritage Mall with bargains on the brands you trust.
We're Linco Federal Credit Union. Keep your money in Linn County with Linco Federal Credit Union. Enjoy a visit with one of our friendly staff at a neighborhood branch near you today. Linco Federal Credit Union in Albany, Lebanon, and Sweet Home. In Linn, you're in.
Family owned and operated since 1979, Crabtree Auto stresses the small stuff when it comes to maintaining your vehicle. An oil change every 3,000 miles is a small thing now, but adds up to big rewards down the road. Crabtree Auto's ASE certified technician can help your vehicle maintain its reliability beyond 200,000 miles. Crabtree Auto on Hill Street, just south of 9th in Albany.
Now is the time to buy a car at Mark Thomas Motors. 4 generations in the auto business and here to stay. Mark Thomas Motors is big on supporting local events. 3 locations in Albany: Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Hyundai, GMC, Buick, Pontiac. Now is the time to buy a car at Mark Thomas Motors in Albany.
920 KSHO.
And set to go here in the third quarter as West Albany starts the third with a 1-point lead, 22-21. Their starting 5 out on the floor. Sawyer Reed feeds Nate Sherwood on the perimeter, underneath for Chad. Chad drops it to Jalen, and Jalen lays it in. Nicely designed play right out of the locker room, results in a layup.
Yeah, and I've already seen a little bit extra spring in their step here for the Bulldogs, and that's a great start with a great offensive set there. Set play, easy bucket for Jalen.
Yeah, that was a good look from Chad Sherwood to Schlegel for the layup. 24-21 Bulldogs. Mast, foul line extended right. Jalen goes for the steal. Mast able to secure the ball, get it back out to Alvarado. Todd Zimmerman preaching the defense as Reed keeps the crouch down on Alvarado. Alvarado gets rid of it to Lave. Lave tried to spin it left for Mast and threw it out of bounds. Lave saying he was hacked. Does not get the whistle, and it just looks like a very careless turnover as he threw it near midcourt. West with the ball, up 3. Sawyer Reed angles towards his team's bench, left. Feeds Chad Sherwood at the top of the key. Josh Bryant up to set a screen. Sherwood around it. Curls it to Bryant. Josh right down the lane. Missed the layup, but got fouled. He'll shoot 2 free throws.
I think Josh was a little surprised how open he was to the basket. You could see on that high pick and roll as he got that ball. Little hesitation there. Hey, wait, there's nobody in front of me. I better take it strong to the rim. Not able to get the bucket, but goes to the line here for 2.
Looked like a free safety when a fullback's coming at him at full speed. They just don't want to get in the way. That's what it looked like there. Nobody wanted to close in on Bryant. Josh at the foul line, misses the first one, short. The foul was called on Blake Walker, his first foul of the second half. One more for Bryant. Josh, the senior, coming in averaging 3.8 per game, missed both free throws. Rebound comes right down to Jalen Schlegel, who misses the dunk. A rebound comes down to Blake Walker. Jalen Look like he was kind of caught in between throwing it down and laying it up. Got up higher than he thought and just missed the dunk. So Walker in front court for Liberty, hounded by Chad Sherwood. Gets rid of it for Alvarado. Reed closes out in a hurry. Alvarado looks underneath for Greenlee. Bryant with the recovery there. Comes back out to Mast. He'll fire a jumper. Missed it back rim. Rebound, Josh Bryant. West Albany with the ball. No pressure as Chad Sherwood gets it now. Straight up the middle of the floor. Coming to the left for Sawyer Reed. Reed backs it out with a right-hand dribble. Waiting for some movement off the ball as Reed pushes it right. Kicks it into the corner for Chad Sherwood. Chad looks for some help. Drops it down low for Schlegel on the baseline. Jalen spinning in with the left hand. Goes to the fadeaway hook. Rattles out. No good. Bryant an offensive rebound. He goes back up with the hook and puts it in.
Two strong shots there. Jalen Schlegel with a lot of confidence on that baby hook. Josh Bryant with the strong rebound puts it back up for 2.
With a baby hook of his own. Nice touch there from Bryant underneath. West leads by 5. 26-21. 2 minutes gone here in the third quarter. Alvarado near a 5 count. And there we go. There's the 5 count. As Sawyer Reed with the defense out top, forcing a 5-second violation, the second of the night.
Very difficult to do defensively, especially with somebody with the quickness of Alvarado. Just a freshman. But Sawyer Reed, I tell you, he did a good job of maintaining that proximity there to get that 5 count.
Bulldog ball. They lead by 5. They led early by 9. Liberty has hung around ever since. Nate Sherwood calling for a screen up top. Nate down the right side of the lane. Drops it for Schlegel on the baseline. Out to Bryant. Thought about the long 2. Pulls it back to Reed. Now left for Chad Sherwood. On the perimeter. Inside for Nate. Nate has possession. Goes up. Has it blocked inside. Blake Walker with the block.
There's a lot of contact there.
Assistant coach Everett Hartman on the bench saying a lot of body, and I think he echoes the sentiment of all the Bulldogs in attendance. Lave gets it inside for Greenlee. Out for Alvarado. And the Falcons will come back out and reset near midcourt. Now Alvarado spins inside the arc to a back-cutting Lave, and the ball is kicked away by Chad Sherwood out of bounds. Liberty will inbound it underneath as Aaron Holman returns for the Falcons, replacing Blake Walker.
Well, you'd much prefer that kick ball than to the back door that Liberty was about to get on that play. Good defensive play by Chad.
Lave into Holman. And now to Alvarado. Alvarado almost traveled as he looked for Lave, but that was cut off. Lave gets it back, fires a deep 2, and hits it. Well, now they say LaVey. They've been saying Lave the whole night. Now the PA says LaVey, so they'll change it. As Sawyer Reed comes in front court for Chad Sherwood. Sherwood no look right for Jalen Schlegel. Jalen to Josh Bryant. And Bryant into the corner for Nate Sherwood. Nate right back to Bryant down low. Establishing position on Greenlee. Goes around and missed it in close. Rebound tipped up, no. Comes back down to Jalen, who misses, but got fouled. Now it's Josh Bryant who has the look of disbelief as he thought he should have converted in close. As we're going to get a whistle and a timeout, a 30-second timeout taken by Liberty, as now it's Coach O.J. Gully who's not happy with the offensive rebounding of West Albany. In the first half, the roles were reversed.
And we're keeping it here.
Absolutely.
All right. Yeah, right. You would be frustrated, but you know that against a team like West Albany, you're likely to get out-rebounded. But what I think what he's frustrated with right now, Ryan, is that nobody was getting a body on the Bulldogs down underneath and trying to move them out. West's going to get some purely on size and desire, but he wants to limit the Bulldogs to one shot at the offensive end, and certainly wants to be able to go up and get some offensive rebounds of their own. This is a frustration timeout right here. Liberty's still within 3, but West Albany's showing a little bit more spark here in this second half, what we were expecting to see coming out of the locker room.
West Albany leading at 26-23. They jumped out of the game. I mean, it was a slow start for both teams, but West led 11-2 with about 3 minutes to go in the first quarter. Liberty went on a run to get within 1 at the end of the first quarter. The Falcons have not led, but they've just been close throughout the night. They will not go away, and that slow pace of play is keeping them in it. Jalen Schlegel at the foul line to shoot 2. The last foul was on Jacob Mast, his 3rd. 2 team fouls in the Falcons here in the second half, none yet on West Albany.
And to maintain some of this momentum the Bulldogs have coming into the third quarter, need to hit free throws. And right now, as Jalen hits the first one, you've got to be able to keep that momentum going. And you can do it. Even with the clock stop, momentum comes with made free throws, too. Missed free throws are debilitating to you. They take the wind out of your sails.
Well, Jalen obliges you and knocks down a pair. 28-23, West Albany, 4:40 to go in the third.
And I think this is a great move. Full court man-to-man pressure by the Bulldogs, keeping the Liberty Falcons from being able to excuse me, I got ahead of myself here, but keeping them from being able to walk the ball up the floor, which is what we saw Liberty doing there in the first half.
Well, and in backcourt, that pressure results in a foul on Chad Sherwood, his 3rd. Yeah, the first team foul of the second half on West Albany. Kevin LeVay will inbound to Byron Greenlee, and Greenlee will spin it across the midcourt stripe. Coming to the right for Mast. Mast looking down low, gets doubled in the corner, trap, needs help, comes out to Alvarado. And Alvarado pulls from the foul line, fading jumper, way off to the left, no good. Long rebound spiked out of bounds to West Albany, last touched by Liberty. So West will get it back with their starting five still on the floor, leading by 5, 4:17 to go in the third quarter. Sawyer Reed sets left, comes to the top for Chad Sherwood. Around a Bryant screen to the right, into the corner for Nate Sherwood. He'll fire a three, around and off, no good. Rebound pulled down by Holman for Liberty.
And well boxed out by Liberty there. The Bulldog bigs not able to get a hand on that ball.
No doubt the Falcons talked about that in their last time out, as West Albany had a handful of offensive rebounds early in this third quarter. LeVay up top, working right to left behind the back with the dribble. Goes inside for Greenlee, put it off his foot and got it right back. Out to Alvarado, who will reset, nearly bumping into the official on the sideline. Gets it back, shovels it underneath for Holman. Out to LeVay. He fires a three, short. Rebound inside, pulled down by Nate Sherwood. Off to Sawyer Reed. Reed brings it straight up the center of the floor, coming right behind Bryant. To the left for Sherwood, inside for Schlegel. Tips the catch to himself. Now drives along the baseline, goes around Holman to the reverse, puts it in. Unstoppable.
Use the rim to protect the shot. Go up soft with it. Nice play by Jalen.
Bulldogs have pushed the lead back to 7. That's their biggest lead since early in the game. With 3:13 to go in the third quarter. Alvarado working in the corner. No danger there. Feeds into Holman on the blocks. Doubled. Got up and under. Blocked by Nate Sherwood. His 6th of the game. As Jalen Schlegel pulls it down. Up ahead to Chad Sherwood. Chad all the way in. Had it swatted away by Liberty. It'll stay with West Albany. A rifle pass ahead. Chad trying to corral it. Had it knocked away out of bounds.
Yeah, just got ahead of himself a little bit. It was a rocket pass. But Bulldogs fortunate there as it was going off. Chad Sherwood had bumped onto the ball, bumped the Liberty player. The Bulldogs will have it for an inbounds pass here underneath the basket.
Chad Sherwood comes out. Calvin Merrifield comes in. As the inbound goes to Jalen Schlegel, and I'll call him for a travel. And Jalen nods, says, yeah, I did. Then he shakes his head, no.
I didn't.
He said yes to the official. He said no to his teammate. That's beautiful.
He cracked up Josh Bryant, too.
Well, they got to recover quickly as LeVay pushes it into front court. Underhands it to Mast. Mast trying to shake Nate Sherwood and cannot. Good D by Nate in the corner. Mast tied up, needs help. Gets rid of it to LeVay, guarded by Merrifield. As LeVay crosses him over, pulls up foul line extended, and gets hacked. As they will call the hand check. The ball had wound up in the hands of Josh Bryant, but the foul is what caused it. It'll be on Nate Sherwood, his first. West Albany's second. Now, the block stat, Wally, is going to be unofficial tonight, but I've got Nate for 6, and I'm pretty sure that's accurate.
Yeah, I think that probably is. And what he hasn't been able to do on the offensive side, he certainly is getting done defensively.
LeVay trying to drive the baseline, dumps it underneath for Holman, who lays it in. And nicely done as Holman leaked inside and gets a layup. Bulldogs by 5, 30-25, 2.5 to go in the third. Nate Sherwood to Jalen Schlegel behind the foul line, fakes the jumper, drives all the way in, puts it up with the left hand, no. And a rebound to Liberty. Greenlee up ahead to LeVay, got away with a travel, missed off back rim, rebound inside for Mast. Mast back to Holman, and Holman to Alvarado as Liberty will reset.
A little mismatch up top here, Schlegel on Alvarado.
Alvarado gets a screen. Goes into the middle for Holman. To the right for Mast, an open three. No good. And on the rebound, a whistle and a foul as Nate Sherwood got a push. And a foul will go on Nate, his second. And the Bulldogs' third. Keaton Bader checking in for Josh Bryant.
Some fresh legs, some fresh lungs here. Bring in Bader here. Give Josh Bryant a little bit of a break. 2:03 to go here in the third.
LeVay to inbound. Looking for a screen. Comes up to the top for Alvarado. Working right. Alvarado now left around a Holman screen. Goes all the way in. Floats it up. Short. Rebound. Jalen Schlegel. Jalen wants to push. Up ahead to Sawyer Reed. Reed being tracked down from behind. Saves it behind to Jalen. Jalen underneath. Little fade away. Curls in. And the foul. Count the bucket for Jalen, who got the offensive rebound. Put it in. And a chance for 3.
That's a strong play by Jalen right there. Good rebound. And the putback gets knocked to his can, not before getting the bucket, the chance for the three-point play.
Kind of a wild scramble in front of us as Coach Zimmerman moved down in our direction. You couldn't see what was going on underneath the basket. But Reed corralled the long pass, saved it into Jalen. And Jalen hits the fadeaway, now hits the free throw. And the Bulldogs lead by 8, and Liberty turns it over on the inbound. Off the fingertips of Alvarado and out of bounds.
Full court pressure by the Bulldogs here now. Got Liberty a little bit rattled as they tried to get the inbound. Couldn't get it. Bulldogs with a chance now with the possession to take a double-digit lead.
Reed turns it over on the inbound. Mast with it. One-on-one to the goal with Merrifield. Merrifield with the block that will prevent perhaps an easy layup. Team foul number 4. And all things considered, a pretty good foul there by Merrifield. His second. As Liberty will inbound underneath. 33-25, West Albany, 1:43 to go in the third. Alvarado looking in, comes way up top for Tyler Parker. Parker pulls up at the elbow, goes up and under, and gets blocked by Merrifield. Off to Reed. Here comes Sawyer looking to push. Now he'll back it out right of the lane. Sawyer down inside for Bader. Bader spinning with Greenlee on him, blocked from behind. Chased down by Schlegel. Jalen on the wing. Underneath for Nate Sherwood. Nate with the catch, goes up and scores. One big to the other as Schlegel feeds Sherwood inside for the layup, and the Bulldogs lead it by 10.
And what a confident pass that was to be able to throw it over the traffic and get it to Nate Sherwood for the easy bucket.
35-25, Bulldogs by 10, coming down on 1 minute to go in the third quarter. Alvarado angling left towards the baseline, fires the jumper, rattles out, rebound, Jalen Schlegel looking to turn and go. Jalen behind the back, nifty footwork, nifty dribbling, comes right. Merrifield an open three, no, long rebound. Alvarado for Liberty. Now Alvarado wants to run, bounces it right for Holman all the way to the rim, lays it in. One of the rare sequences where you speed up the floor both ways, and it's a layup for Holman. Now Merrifield attacks, up and under, gets hammered with no whistle. Jalen Schlegel, though, pulls it down. Out to Nate Sherwood. Back to Sawyer Reed, and the Bulldogs will settle.
Smart play by Nate to get it out to Sawyer. Probably play for one here, 27 and counting here in the third quarter.
Yep, Sawyer Reed's just going to crouch, go to the slow dribble at midcourt. 20 seconds to play in the third. West Albany leading by 8. As Sawyer bounces it into the corner for Nate Sherwood. 12 seconds as Nate, couple of dribbles, gets doubled, tripled, gets it down low right through the legs of Bader and out of bounds off Liberty. Last touch underneath by Greenlee. It was 6.3 to go in the quarter. West will have a chance still for a shot. As Isaiah Edwards is going to check in, Jalen Schlegel will check out for a brief rest. You figure Jalen sits here and maybe for the first couple minutes of the fourth and then gets reinserted.
Yeah, I think that's probably right.
Sawyer Reed to inbound, gets it in for Nate. Nate comes just inside the foul line, goes up and under, off the window, too strong. A rebound to Liberty. Mast is going to fire it down the floor, way over the rim off the back wall, and the third quarter will come to an end. West gets a little bit of breathing room in the third quarter, and we'll head to the fourth with an 8-point lead. The Bulldogs 35, the Falcons 27. We'll take a break and return to KSHO.
Just like the Bulldogs, Courtesy Corner Shell gives you everything they have every time you drive in. Fast and friendly service, windows always clean. Non-ethanol fuels for small engines, boats, and vintage cars available. You can't beat Courtesy Corner Shell near Queen on Pacific Boulevard. They'll be happy to see you.
Lynn Lanes in Lebanon, home of the best burger in town.
Good family fun. Bowling.
Open every day and until 1 a.m. on Friday and Saturday nights. Ballistic bowling starts at 10 on Saturday nights.
Stop by Lynn Lanes in Lebanon.
Willamette Community Bank is proud to support local high school sports, music, and scholastic programs. Hi, this is Kevin Thomas, Vice President with Willamette Community Bank. Be part of the team and get behind our schools and our future leaders, serving you with branches in Albany and Lebanon.
Willamette Community Bank. Service like no other. We promise. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Taking a detour down a gravel road isn't fun for you or your tires. Luckily at Les Schwab, along with great prices, all of our car or pickup tires come with the kind of protection most other places don't give you, like free flat repairs and more. Les Schwab, doing the right thing since 1952.
920 KSHO.
Back here at the roar of the crowd in the background there, apparently. I don't know if that came through to you. A little static as we start the fourth with West Albany leading 35-27 over Liberty. Ryan Pitts, Wally Ordeman, and Jeff Kiter, thanks for being with you here tonight from Hillsboro. So West Albany has led throughout, led by as many as 10 in the waning moments of the third quarter. Liberty the final points of the third to get within 8. And now the Falcons with the first possession of the fourth quarter. And Kobe Alvarado, their freshman point guard, working up top. Showing a lot of patience here as the floor spreads. Everybody just kind of comes to a standstill. So trying to lull West to sleep maybe. Parker into the corner for Mast. Back to Parker and back to Alvarado. Lobbing back door. Mast blew the layup. In fact, airballed it, but caught it right back. Now to Holman, and out to Alvarado. No look inside, stolen by Isaiah Edwards. He hands it off to Chad Sherwood, and West gets it. Nearly a minute on that possession, but nothing to show for it for Liberty. As Chad Sherwood bounces it right corner for Isaiah Edwards, out to Calvin Merrifield, and Merrifield to the top for Josh Bryant. Chad Sherwood and Bryant, the only two starters on the floor right now. Merrifield, Edwards, and Bader, the other three. As Chad gets bumped and fouled. Just the fourth team foul of the second half on Liberty.
You know, Ryan, I've got a theory. And that's it. With the youth of this Liberty team, they are young, and they almost play kind of an awkward style. Physically, they aren't doing anything that we typically see. They just seem like they're a little bit awkward, and I think it's thrown the Bulldogs off. It's really something. It's just an awkward game that we've been watching.
Yeah, it's a game that hasn't had a ton of flow to it. No real consistent up and down action. As the ball goes inside to Bader, Bader is hand checked and fouled, and suddenly, as you often see in these games, it's almost like the officials look up at the scoreboard and say, we haven't blown the whistle much. We better start. Because that was kind of ticky-tack inside as Jacob Mast picks up his fourth and Liberty's fifth.
Yeah, interesting lineup. And you said it that Jalen probably sit for a little while. Bulldogs with a little bit different group on the floor right now.
Merrifield got free for a look off a nice pick, missed the jumper, and Parker with the rebound for Liberty. Parker took a little shot in the mouth, checks himself for any blood, and appears to be fine. He'll stay in the game, and Alvarado will feed it to Parker. Nearly stolen right in front of us by Bader, but out of bounds it goes. Bader, good anticipation. In Junction City, they always used to preach on the line, up the line defense, try and prevent that pass, and that's where Bader was to knock it away. 8-point Bulldog lead, 6:20 to go in the game. It's Alvarado goes to the right for LeVay, into the corner for Parker. Parker back for LeVay, and now to the top again for Alvarado. Out near center circle to Holman. Down in the blocks. Holman back for LeVay. Faked the three and got blocked. Looking for a foul. Didn't get it. Loose ball comes down to Parker and out to Walker. Walker to the corner for Parker. Parker back to Walker, and Liberty kind of another disjointed possession, but they'll get an open look for three and hit it as Alvarado comes out of the scramble. If you were playing pool, you'd call that a slop shot, but he's able to hit the three. 35-30. Merrifield to Bryant in front court. Back to Merrifield. And now to Chad Sherwood. Well, the Bulldogs appeared as though they had really taken control of this game up 10, and Liberty has hit the last 5. Making a contest again with 5:32 left. Chad Sherwood drives inside the lane and gets fouled on the way up. 2 free throws coming for Chad on the drive.
Chad just trying to make something happen, and I like that he saw that seam there and takes it strong to the basket. Gets to go to the line here for 2. 5:29 to go in this game. The Bulldogs leading by 5. I'll say it that way. I don't want to say 35-30.
Yeah. Chad for 2. First one is good. Sawyer Reed, Jalen Schlegel in. Merrifield and Bader out. And in case I forget in postgame, a chance to single out some good play from Calvin Merrifield off the bench.
It really has. And I don't know if he's gotten in the scorebook yet, but certainly I like how he has run this team when he's been on the floor.
Good defense. A couple of blocks, too, from Merrifield.
Yep, you bet.
Chad Sherwood hits both free throws. West leads by 7, 37-30 with 5:25 left. Alvarado loops it ahead for LeVay, goes to the corner for Parker. Parker has Edwards all over him, spins to the baseline, comes back for LeVay. Now to Alvarado, out between the circles, spins it off to LeVay, back to Alvarado. Looking inside, nothing there. Alvarado finally puts it on the deck. Here it comes right for LeVay. Reed there, off to the right, Parker. Parker looking inside, might have had somebody, didn't see him. Comes back instead for LeVay up top. Spinning into the corner for Parker. Got a step on Edwards along the baseline. Goes up and under. Missed the layup, and Edwards pulls the rebound. West with the ball up 7. 4:50 to go. Chad Sherwood looks to the sidelines for the call. Goes around to Bryant screen left. Goes all the way in. Finger roll. No. Got his own. Followed it up. Missed in close. And a rebound claimed by Holman for Liberty. Nearly threw it away as LeVay now will throw it away. Boy. Some very sloppy play tonight from both sides.
Yeah, it really has been. It just feels so awkward that nothing is happening like we've expected, and it's just one of those unsettling feelings here. West Albany. Well, I'm not going to say this yet. I'll wait till there's about a minute to go in this game.
Yes, please do.
Okay.
The official on the baseline was cracking up at something that Jalen had said to him, and now Jalen gets hacked on the catch, and he's going to shoot a 1-and-1. Team foul number 7 on Liberty. The foul's on Mast. And he is done. That's going to be number 5 on Jacob Mast. So Mass's evening will come to an end here with 4:30 to go. West Albany leading 37-30.
Mass, the 6'3" freshman. I tell you, he's got some years in front of him, and he's played a good, solid game. He's worked really hard defensively, and he's been a threat on the offensive end.
Jalen swishes the first free throw, and he will get the bonus. Try to push the West Albany lead back to 9. Well, we talked about the big three, and we will throughout the season. Jalen Schlegel, Chad, and Nate Sherwood. Chad Sherwood has not had his usual offensive night. Jalen's had a very fine night. Nate Sherwood's done well on defense, but not much on offense. And you have had some support players step up as the Bulldogs claim a 9-point lead. Jalen Schlegel hits the second free throw in a 30-second timeout on the floor. But there has been more support from West Albany, more players in the book tonight.
Yeah, I think that's exactly right. And Calvin Merrifield, certainly one of those. Cam Dixon there in the first half. Got quite a bit of playing time, and you can't say offensive spark with too many people because you've got a 39-30 game. There haven't been a lot of points put on the board, but I like what I've seen from Isaiah Edwards. It's just quality minutes for him. It's just one of those games where you look for the right combination. Who's going to give you the spark when they come in the game? Because it hasn't always been that first five that provided that spark. You want to be able to see people come in off the bench. So I think to a point we've seen that tonight.
39-30, West Albany a 9-point lead as we'll come out of the timeout. Bulldogs with all 5 of their starters back out on the floor. As Liberty, the answers with Alvarado, Parker, LeVay, Holman, and Walker. Alvarado walks it across the midcourt line, looking right. Now feeds it right for LeVay. Into the corner for Parker. And back for LeVay. Up top for Alvarado. Peeking inside for that backdoor pass. Not there this time. And Alvarado continues a slow back-and-forth dribble. Feeding LeVay. Now back to Alvarado.
It's a patient offense at a time when you need a little bit more pace on your offense. You're down 9, and they're just waiting for the Bulldogs to make a defensive mistake.
And instead, Liberty makes an offensive mistake, and Sawyer Reed takes it the other way and gets blocked as he went in. Alvarado with the block. And it might have wrenched Sawyer's back just a little bit as he winces. It stopped his momentum abruptly. Sawyer's fine. He'll stay in the game, but a momentary wince as he inbounds to Bryant. Bryant inside the hook, off the window and in. And West Albany has their biggest lead with 3:45 to go. They lead by 11, 41-30. A couple of nice baby hook shots tonight from Josh Bryant. That one off the window. As LeVay feeds Alvarado and now Walker in front court. Liberty has to start to hurry here, something that maybe they don't want to do, as Parker puts in a jumper. Tyler Parker from the elbow gets it back down to 9. West Albany quickly beats the pressure as Nate Sherwood gets in the middle for Bryant. Now to Schlegel, and Jalen will underhand it back to Chad Sherwood, and West can be patient themselves. Chad comes around to Bryant's screen, feeds it back to the right for Reed. Reed to Bryant at the right elbow. And pivoting into the corner for Nate. Nate thought about the three, goes in for Bryant. Rifles it to Schlegel, and Jalen has to scramble after it off the deflection. Gets it back and feeds Reed. Now to Chad Sherwood. Got around LeVay for a moment. Spins it back out to Sawyer Reed. Reed to the right for Nate Sherwood. Under 3 minutes left. West leading by 9. Looking for the cutting Chad Sherwood, and Chad could not handle the pass. Out of bounds it goes. So a lot of time used on that possession, but no points out of it. Liberty will get it back down 9.
Yeah, Bulldogs really spreading the floor there and doing a nice job of it for about 60 seconds. And then you're just looking for any safe shot that you get. Not going to launch any threes.
There's LeVay launching a three with Nate Sherwood all over him. Nate might have gotten a piece. The ball was well short. Liberty claims the rebound. Alvarado feeds Parker along the baseline. Blocked out there by Jalen Schlegel. Another West Albany block, and the Bulldogs clear it. Sawyer Reed brings it to front court. Now slows it. Feeding Chad Sherwood just in front of his bench. Chad with a double coming. Lobs it cross court for Sawyer Reed. Sawyer catches it along the far sideline. Goes to the baseline for Nate Sherwood. Nate spinning inside. Goes all the way in and lays it in. That might clinch it. Timeout, Liberty, with 2:08 to play. A full timeout. West by 11. 2:08 to go. We'll be back on KSHO.
The mission of Now Builders is treat every job like it's their only job, no matter how big or small, and they don't stop until their customer is 100% satisfied 100% of the time. Check out their portfolio of fine work at nowbuilders.com. Call Now Builders at 541-926-2858.
Figaro's in Albany now has the Ultimate Super Combo and the Ultimate Super Meat, only $16.99 or $17.99 baked. Albany Figaro's in front of Fred Meyer. And ask about their gluten-free crust, 541-924-9303.
The short drive to Corvallis will save you time and money. This is Steve Buckner from Wilson Motors, inviting you to experience the notable difference at Wilson Motors, 5th and Buchanan in Corvallis. Check us out at saveatwilson.com.
Making life easier and more productive, that's what Lynn Benton Tractor can do for you. And it all begins by discovering how the full line of Kubota equipment can help.
We're still doing business the American way.
Highway 99E Tangent.
America's best music and the news you need. This is 920 KSHO, Lebanon, Albany, Corvallis.
Back here at Liberty High School, trying to put a bow on it. With 2:08 left, West Albany leading 43-32. It has not been a pretty game, but West trying to get out of here with the W, which would be their 5th of the year, and set themselves up for an 8-day break before the Summit Holiday Tournament begins. Liberty with the ball out of the timeout, still not showing a lot of urgency. As Parker at the top of the circle goes left for Alvarado on the wing. Alvarado to the top for Walker. Bryant with a good closeout. Walker didn't want to put up a shot, nearly turned it over. Got it to Parker, hounded by Nate Sherwood. Parker dribbling it off his stomach, comes back out to Alvarado.
And West switching from that matchup zone to the straight man-to-man now.
Alvarado on the drive. Got Schlegel in the air and then put it in over him. Nice move by Alvarado, the freshman point guard, to get it back down to 9. Still, it took him about 40 seconds on the possession to do that. As Chad Sherwood has it stolen. Tipped up ahead, and then Chad trying to hustle it back down. Saves it, but right to LeVay, who they'll call a kick.
Oh, wow.
They're going to call a kick. I was about to say turned it right back to Sawyer Reed, but apparently it hit off the foot of Sawyer Reed. Couldn't see it from here.
Wow, I really didn't think that was a kick, and it looked like the other referee could have been really helpful in that situation.
LeVay out to Alvarado, driving along the baseline. Tough shot as he faded out of bounds. Missed it, and a rebound to Jalen Schlegel. 1:02 to play. The Bulldogs leading by 9. And Liberty not putting on a ton of pressure here. Here's how they'll just play it out. Chad Sherwood starts to attack, comes back for Bryant. Gives to Chad Sherwood. Chad has his pass batted out of bounds. West will keep it with 47.7 left. Even the ending of this game has been strange. Liberty on the offensive end playing like a team that was up 10, not down 10, really taking their time, and now not wanting to foul. It is a 9-point game with 40 seconds left, but apparently just ready to play this one out.
Really surprising they didn't start fouling here about 2 minutes ago.
Very strange.
Especially with West Albany 50% on their free throws there in that first half.
Liberty nearly gets a steal on the far side as West is just playing hot potato. Out of bounds it goes, and now you see O.J. Gully down to our right. Now he's putting on the foul, signaling for a hack.
That's about 2 minutes too late on
that. It definitely is. They've been letting this possession go for 40 seconds. Now they foul as Sawyer Reed catches it, and he'll go to the line for a 1-and-1 with 25.8 seconds to play. You said a couple of times, and it's an excellent point. It's a very young Liberty team, but they're playing like a young team. On the offensive end, down by 11. They pass the ball around for 40 seconds with 2 minutes left. There's no urgency. Then they get on defense, and they let about 40 seconds run off the clock before finally committing the foul. And Sawyer Reed at the line, hitting the first free throw to make it a 10-point game again with 25.8 left.
Yeah, that's a little bit of inexperience there, and certainly the coach was probably wanting him to start fouling a little bit earlier. If they weren't getting the message there, Bulldogs get this lead back up on the 2 free throws by Sawyer Reed, back up by 11.
Sawyer Reed, good offensive night. 7 points for Sawyer. So Bulldogs lead by 11 with 15 seconds left. Alvarado, again, in no hurry. 12 seconds, 11 seconds. He's just dribbling up top. 10 seconds, 9 seconds, and a timeout.
A timeout.
Taken by Liberty with 8.8 left. Wow. 45-34, West Albany by 11. As Liberty, I mean no disrespect by this, Wally, but you look at their 4 wins, you don't know how they've won 4 games. I mean, unless they just lull everybody to sleep and kind of win these ugly games. There hasn't been a lot going for them.
I think that's exactly what it is, Ryan. And they drag you into that style of game. It's been, I said to you during the break, I feel like it's this kind of game. I don't feel like I'm broadcasting very well either.
I feel the same way.
It feels very, very awkward. And probably beating a dead horse here, but our listeners are probably tired of hearing it. But it has. It's been that kind of disjointed night. But I have no idea how this Liberty team after tonight will be 4-3. I have no idea how they won 4 games.
Now, let me just clarify. When I say I feel the same way, I don't mean about you. I mean about myself.
Well, no, you would have been absolutely correct.
Blake Walker will inbound it with 8.8 left. 45-34. He nearly falls in bounds. Gets it to Alvarado. Alvarado with a little teardrop. That's short. Rebound, Jalen Schlegel. Jalen will feed Nate Sherwood. And Nate could have gone down to tomahawk it. He will just let the clock burn, and West Albany will escape with a win here tonight. They never trailed. You never got the feeling they were in extreme danger.
That's what I wasn't going to say when there's 4 minutes left, was that I never felt like the Bulldogs were in danger of losing this one, but certainly was not their best performance.
We've worked together for a while. We were on the same wavelength. You never felt like it was going to get away, but still you kind of exhale that they come out of here with a win. 45-34. West Albany wins it here tonight in Hillsboro. We'll take a timeout, come back, and wrap this one up on KSHO.
If you'd like to do it yourself or need helpful advice doing it, your neighborhood Ace Hardware and Contractor Center can help. Economy Supply Building Center has been that helpful place for over 58 years. Economy Supply Building Center, where Highway 34 becomes Tangent Street in Lebanon.
Need some electrical work in your home or business, but it just seems like too small of a job to call the pros? No matter what the job, call City and Suburban Electric. Proud to be a contributing member of our community. City and Suburban Electric. Call 451-5609.
920 KSHO.
Welcome back here to Liberty High School in Hillsboro, where West Albany comes on the road tonight and gets the win, a much-needed one. 45-34, they defeat Liberty, moving their record to 5-2 on the year. They'll head off to Summit to play in the Les Schwab Holiday Invitational, or the Holiday Hoop Fest that they call it. It seems like it's changed names a handful of times. We can just call it the Summit Tournament, and everybody will know what we're talking about. But that's where West Albany will be December 27th through the 29th. Then a long layoff, 11 days off before opening league play January the 9th against Silverton, and that will be our next broadcast at West Albany High School, January the 9th, as Mid-Willamette Conference play will begin. Now, the West Albany girls have taken the floor here. They're about to take on Liberty, and the Bulldog girls will try and keep their perfect start going. Wally, on the boys' side tonight, we have said this point several times. It was never pretty. It was never a game that had a great flow to it, but you'll take the W getting out of here.
Yeah, I think that it's because they played an unorthodox style team that West Albany ended up it just kind of ended up being that way for West Albany too. Certainly never got into any flow, never got any momentum in this game, but they did just enough to get the win. In the grand scheme of things, it's going to be an away victory against a 5A team, and so it certainly won't hurt them in the power rankings. I don't think it will, because you've got Liberty at 4-3. They were sitting at about number 21 in the power rankings, so West Albany certainly shouldn't drop. But they get the W. They get to go into the Summit Tournament with a win behind them and several wins behind them. And we'll hope that a few days of practice and can maybe ride some momentum going into that Summit Tournament. I think they will probably because the competition will be so good at the Summit Tournament. I think probably West Albany will be up for that. I think they felt like coming into this game this was going to be a laugher and they certainly played like it. So I think they will step up to the level of the competition. I think we're going to start seeing the West Albany team that we saw against Union of Camas and against West Salem and against McKay to start the season. I think West Albany, they've got a lot of good basketball to play. Tonight frustrated us, but hey, maybe we're spoiled. They got to win.
Yeah, they'd come away with a win, and that is by far the most important part. 45-34. That field for the Summit Tournament, the Les Schwab Holiday Hoop Fest, will be West Albany, Ashland, Bend, Horizon Christian, Mountain View, Sandy, and Summit. Now, that's 7 teams. I couldn't find an 8th. There has to be an 8th in order to make it an accurate tournament. And I think it's got to be a team maybe from Washington, because it would show up on the OSAA website. They sometimes invite teams from out of state. I think that was the case last year. There was a team from Washington there. That's probably the case again this year.
Yeah, I think that's right. Well, it's the team that won the championship, but now I can't think of even where they were from. Could be them again. I'm not sure, but I think you're right, and I wish I had that in my hip pocket to be able to identify that team. West will look forward to that tournament. All 3 boys teams, all 3 girls teams go to the Summit Tournament this year, and be a lot of fun for everybody. And we'll wish them the best and a lot of success over there of that 3-day tournament.
And speaking of holiday tournaments, the Les Schwab Invitational will start here on Wednesday. It is a tradition. It's been played here at Liberty since 2004. And it's really staggering. I had to throw this in the broadcast. You talk about some of the names that have played in the Les Schwab Invitational. And one of the reasons that people come from all over to watch and come from all over the nation to play, you have teams like Oak Hill Academy, DeMatha Catholic from Maryland, Dominguez of California, Bishop Gorman from Las Vegas, Nevada. I mean, those are teams that if you follow high school basketball, they're among the top teams nationally every year. Oak Hill last year won the Les Schwab Invitational and went 44-0 on the season. They beat Jesuit in the final here last year by 6. It was one of their closest games of the year. But this is just a short list of some of the names that have played in the tournament. Carmelo Anthony, Tyson Chandler, Kevin Durant, Joey Harrington, Terrence Jones, Ty Lawson, Kevin Love, Kyle Singler, and Nolan Smith, and Ndamukong Suh. That one surprised me. Rivas Vasquez, who played at Maryland, now with Memphis in the NBA, and Kemba Walker. I mean, those are some big-time college names that have played in the Les Schwab Invitational. It's a big deal. They get the games going all day. They have a dunk contest. It's a big, big thing coming here to Liberty in about a week.
It's quite a showcase, and we were actually hoping that over time West Albany might earn their way into that tournament, but didn't get the invite this year, and thought that we might be able to come up and watch our own Bulldogs play in this, but that didn't happen. And I know Barry Adams, who's a long time, well, he's a legend as far as high school basketball coaches go, and Cascade Basketball Camp kind of runs the show from Les Schwab, and thought maybe some connections were going to get the Bulldogs in. Didn't happen. So we're going to have to get up and watch as spectators at some point. It's not going to happen for me this year, but at some point I'd like to get up here and watch the Les Schwab.
You got to be a pretty special 5A team to get into the Les Schwab Invitational. Corvallis made it a couple of years ago. Jefferson has made it several times, and Jefferson will be in it again this year. One thing I found interesting, and this is the final point I'll make before we head out, West Lynn is in the field. There are 3 national teams: Archbishop Mitty from San Jose, Gonzaga College High School from Washington, D.C. I don't know how you can be a college high school, and then Newman Goretti from Philadelphia. Those are the 3 national teams that will be here. But West Lynn is in the field, and if you go to the Les Schwab Invitational website, they have a short list of players to watch during the tournament, and many of them are players who are attracting national attention for recruiting. But one of the players listed, and I was shocked to see this, Peyton Pritchard, the freshman point guard from West Lynn who lit West Albany up on Monday. And I said, we both said at the time, boy, what a shocker, this freshman's coming out and having such a night. Apparently they expect big things from him because he's one of about the 15 players to watch in that tournament.
It doesn't surprise me a bit. He did surprise us that evening, but doesn't surprise me now after watching him perform. He's got to be on some radars, and there are going to be a lot of assistant coaches from different colleges in the West Lynn gym watching him play over the next 4 years.
And maybe here in the Liberty High School gym over the next week or so. It's the day after Christmas that it starts here at Liberty. If you are interested in coming up and checking that out, a lot of good basketball in the next week. West Albany wins tonight. You can't call it great basketball, but they got the job done. 45-34, they beat Liberty. Let's take a break. We'll come back with Jeff Kiter and some stats and then head out here on KSHO.
Lassen RV in Albany has the new RV models on the lot now, ready for you to buy. Lassen RV Service Department has a new truckload of parts and accessories on sale just in time for fall fix-up. From changing a light bulb to rebuilding your entire RV. No job is too big or too small for Lassen RV in Albany, where friends send their friends.
Join the fun at the Albany Athletic Club. Group fitness classes from low-impact dance to traditional circuit training, plus racquetball and more. Watch your waistline shrink and your health improve every day. Start now at the Albany Athletic Club on Hickory next to Tom's Garden Center.
You will come out a winner at Power Honda. Their talented staff will show you how easy it is to get the vehicle you want and the payment you need. Check out mypowerhonda.com. Call 928-0122 or just go in to Power Honda, Highway 20 east of I-5 in Albany, your Honda superstore.
Albany Burgerville is celebrating 50 years of serving customers fresh, great-tasting food with a mission to serve with love. Pick up a Burgerville card now and earn rewards cash for every $1 spent. See store for details. Stop by Burgerville after the game. Order a famous Tillamook cheeseburger. Open 7 a.m. to midnight Fridays.
Unforgettable 920.
Back here at Liberty High School one final time as Mike Haberle's girls team, the unbeaten girls from West Albany, getting set to take on Liberty, warming up on the floor in front of us. I welcome back Jeff Kiter here, who's got the final game stats. The happy news is that West Albany wins. Nobody around is saying anything nice about the game tonight. Certainly not pretty, not aesthetically pleasing, but West gets the W.
Yeah, let's put the W in the bank and let's get on to Christmas break, I guess.
Yes.
Well, there was a couple of bright spots for the Bulldogs tonight. One of them was Jalen Schlegel. He finished with a double-double. I had him with 19 points and 14 rebounds. He was 6 of 12 from the field, and he was also 7 of 9 from the free throw line. So Jalen had 10 defensive rebounds and 4 offensive rebounds for the Bulldogs tonight. Also scoring, Sawyer Reed had 7 points, Chad Sherwood 2, Isaiah Edwards 1, Cody LaHoda 2, Nate Sherwood had 6, Josh Bryant 6, and Keaton Bader had 2. The Bulldogs ended up shooting 41% tonight, 14 of 34 from 2 points and 1 of 6 from 3-point range, and they were 14 of 21 from the free throw line. Bulldogs took care of the ball a little better in the second half. They had a total of 16 turnovers for the game. And I apologize, I didn't keep track of block shots, but I know Nate Sherwood had to have had at least 6 or 7.
I had him with 7.
Okay. So
that's very unofficial.
In my head, I had it, yeah. So good night for Nate Sherwood on the blocking shots tonight. For the Liberty squad, they were led in score. They didn't have any players in double figures, but Kevin Lave had 8, and Kobe Alvarado had 7, and Aaron Holman also had 8 points. Bulldogs held Liberty to 28% shooting, 13 of 47, and they forced Liberty into 14 turnovers. And I'll just kind of cut it short there. Hey, it was a victory. It wasn't pretty, but when it's all said and done, it's a win, and I'm sure they'll move on to get ready for their tournament in Bend.
Most definitely. Well, we have a long break, a holiday break for us too, so Merry Christmas to you and the Kiter family.
Thank you.
And have a safe holiday.
Hey, same to you.
Thank you, Jeff.
You're welcome.
Jeff Kiter with our final game stats here tonight as West Albany wins 45-34 over Liberty. Once again, our next broadcast will be January the 9th as Mid-Willamette Conference play will begin. Silverton will be the opponent at West Albany High School, January the 9th. That's when we will join you next. Wally, the girls' game here is about to begin. I wish we were covering it now that I'm watching it warm up. We're not covering them tonight. We're going to do everything we can to cover them a couple of times during the year. We usually do the Civil War games, and then obviously we'll cover whatever happens in the postseason. Not going to do the game here tonight, but we'll look forward to observing a little bit here.
Yeah, it'd be fun to watch them for a little while here, and we'll probably stick around, watch them for quite a bit, and see what this Bulldog girls team under Mike Haberly is all about. And they've had a great start to the season. It'd be a lot of fun to watch them.
The most impressive thing, I think, tonight for West Albany, they're blocking. I'm not sure I've ever seen a game where West Albany has blocked more shots than they did tonight. They had to have around a dozen, I would think, as a team. I know Nate Sherwood had at least 6, and I believe 7 on his own. Calvin Merrifield had a couple. I know Jalen Schlegel had a couple. Chad Sherwood had at least 1. It really piled up. West Albany able to use their size to their advantage, and they come away with the win, 45-34. Any closing thoughts, Wally, or shall we just call this one around?
No, I think I'll just say Merry Christmas to you and to all our listeners, and look forward to the game against Silverton and getting going here in the regular season.
That was going to be my last thought, too. Merry Christmas to you and all the Ordeman family. It's an extended family. There's a lot of Ordemans out there now, so Merry Christmas to all of them.
All the time.
Yeah. Merry Christmas to you all, too, and a Happy New Year. We'll see you again on January the 9th as West Albany will host Silverton to open Mid-Willamette Conference play. I thank you for listening tonight. That's going to do it for us from Hillsboro. Thank you. Back in the studio, we had Dave Adams tonight. A very nice job by Dave. Hope it sounded good to you all out there. Not a pretty game, but West Albany wins at 45-34. Have a very safe Christmas and a safe New Year. We'll see you January the 9th. Until then, for Wally Ordeman and Jeff Kiter, I'm Ryan Pitts. Thanks for listening. West Albany wins 45-34 on KSHO.
Albany Grocery Outlet Bargain Market across from the Heritage Mall has Senior Day, the first Tuesday of every month. $2 off every purchase of $15 or more. Albany Grocery Outlet Bargain Market. 100% satisfaction guaranteed across from the Heritage Mall with bargains on the brands you trust.
We're Linco Federal Credit Union. Keep your money in Linn County with Linco Federal Credit Union. Enjoy a visit with one of our friendly staff at a neighborhood branch near you today. Linco Federal Credit Union in Albany, Lebanon, and Sweet Home. In Linn, you're in.
Family owned and operated since 1979, Crabtree Auto stresses the small stuff when it comes to maintaining your vehicle. An oil change every 3,000 miles is a small thing now, but adds up to big rewards down the road. Crabtree Auto's ASE certified technician can help your vehicle maintain its reliability beyond 200,000 miles. Crabtree Auto on Hill Street, just south of 9th in Albany.
Now is the time to buy a car at Mark Thomas Motors. 4 generations in the auto business and here to stay. Mark Thomas Motors is big on supporting local events. 3 locations in Albany: Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Hyundai, GMC, Buick, Pontiac. Now is the time to buy a car at Mark Thomas Motors in Albany.
Unforgettable 920.
Thanks for listening to tonight's broadcast of West Albany High School basketball on the unforgettable 920 KSHO. Bulldogs basketball has been brought to you by Economy Supply Building Center, City and Suburban Electric, Albany Grocery Outlet, Mark Thomas Motors, Courtesy Corner Shell, H&R Block, Willamette Community Bank, Lassen RV, Les Schwab Tires of Albany, Lynn Lanes, Crabtree Automotive, Power Honda, Figaro's, Albany Athletic Club, Linco Federal Credit Union, Burgerville, Now Builders, Wilson Motors, and by Lynn Benton Tractor. Listen throughout the season for more exciting Bulldogs basketball here on 920 KSHO. This broadcast is exclusive property of Eads Broadcasting, Unforgettable 920 KSHO, and Ryan Wally Productions. U.S. copyright law protects this broadcast. Duplication or rebroadcast of any portion of this program is strictly prohibited without prior written consent. We now join our regular programming.
You found us, so now tell your friends. America's best music is on the show. AM 920 KSHO.
Then he smiled at me, ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Me and my drum, me and my drum, me and my drum, me and my drum. Great singers, great songs, 920 KSHO.
The snowman in the yard is frozen hard. He's a sorry sight to see.